What's up, everybody? Mike Eshaq here. We're about to get this podcast started, but before we start, I want to play a clip from Jeremy Scippio, who's the guest today, of his stand-up set at the Comedy Store, and you can hear the rest of this album on iTunes. It's a Comedy Store Records a drop called The Door Guys, because Jeremy Scippio is one of the Door Guys. So enjoy this, and then we'll get the podcast started.
I like the people that complain about the economy being bad on the people who are on welfare. But they're like, hey, you get your stimulus check yet? Like, oh, poor thing, you don't know. Stimulus is welfare. Just change the name and you should feel bad about your broke ass. Welfare is actually in our Constitution. You know that very same Constitution that you memorized? I believe you shouldn't be allowed to vote unless you know the preamble to the Constitution. Do you guys agree? I'm glad you do. Let's all start saying the preamble to the Constitution right now. We the people of the United States of America, in order to reform what? Damn. Hey, he was coming. He said, in order to form a new Bro, you shut down. You shut down like a broken checkout machine. All right, I got a better one for you guys. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind. Up in here, up in here. You see the problem with the American voting system? Republican, Democrat, liberal, conservative, all you niggas should be allowed to vote. How about that? All right, I got it. If you guys know it, just go with me. All right, we the people in one world, we the people of the United States of America, your favorite part. In order to form a more perfect union, establish justice and ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. That's the preamble to our Constitution, ladies and gentlemen. Do you know how I know that?
How you know that?
Schoolhouse Rock. I don't read shit, I promise. Now let me tell you a little story about how my friend Bill becomes a law. It was a cold winter day on the Capitol steps. Believe it or not, no white people stormed it that day. We called this day January 7th. Conjunction junction. Y'all old as shit.
Public Yemeni #1.
Yeah, we got my man Jeremy Scippio on the motherfucking podcast. Fuck yeah, bro. I'm excited to have my boy back, man. We had Jeremy Scippio way back in the early days of the podcast.
Yeah.
I think he was like one of the in the teen episodes. We're on episode 97 right now.
Oh man, it's funny is I do a lot of podcasts and I never know who's listening. And judging by, I think we had it like, I think you was in some launch. Oh, never mind. I was going to say, ain't nobody listening to this. And then people hit me up and was like, yo, I enjoyed you on the podcast. I was like, oh, shoot, they check you out. So you got some real listeners, man.
Oh, really? Some people actually heard?
Yeah, people, they reached out to me, man.
That's great, man. Yeah. To me, I don't know, man. I still got to grow the podcast. I still got to grow it. But most of my focus right now has been put into stand-up, booking shows, growing that following on Instagram and Facebook, and try to stop getting demonetized and figuring out that whole game. The podcast thing, I definitely want to start expanding it, but it's growing. It's getting there, So the people there's more people listen to it than watch it, and that's growing. So and that's nice to see, and it seems like I have a dedicated listener base.
Yeah, man. Look,
just want to blow it up,
Yeah, man, you working, bro.
My cat loves you, bro.
I know, right? Yeah.
I gotta get a cat cam. I do. I gotta get a cat cam for that. Look how she's looking at you all lovingly.
Yeah, it would be a cat cam. Like you just put it on the head of the cat, or just the.
No,
Okay.
put the cat on.
I mean,
so we can go see it take a shit in the litter box. Bro.
That's what I'm about to say. Like what? like from a cat's point of view.
Yeah, and then when I leave to go, and then the cat cam, I finally realize she knows how to fucking swish porn, and she's watching porn and fucking flipping through the YouTubes. She's a cute motherfucking cat, man. Look at her, she loves you, dude.
Man. Yeah, she was up here just a second ago.
I rescued her from the streets of Detroit.
Really?
Yeah, bro. Somebody let her go. She was just outside.
Yeah, man, she's pretty, man. She's got a little snow, like expensive fur, bougie looking.
Yeah, she's luxurious. She
Yeah.
looks luxurious. And look how she loves people. She's like a dog.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about I want to get like a stand here.
Uh-huh.
And hold on a second.
Your listeners like, okay, the cat took over. Welcome to Mike Eshaq's Cat Podcast. He don't need pussy because it's already here.
Now you can sit with us. What's cracking? Yeah.
She looked like, well, I'm not sleepy right now, but I could use this.
Man, dude, I could connect another camera, but I'll fuck up the whole system right now, man. I think I'm going to do that. I think now what I'm going to do is, okay, hold on.
Hey, man, cats, man. Yeah, that
gotta-
does boost the algorithm.
I got to go live. Not live, but I got to do a story. This is too fucking cute, bro. I'm sorry, guys. Just hang in there. We on the podcast now with Jeremy Scippio
And the co-hosts.
and the co-host Sky the kitty cat. I just found out that my cat really likes to hang out with us
Yeah, man.
when we're doing the podcast, so I think we're just gonna make her a guest. I think what I'm gonna do. Hey, stop showing us your ass.
Hey, buddy. She cool, but I think she pussy.
What? What do you mean?
Nothing.
Yeah. Okay.
That's the worst
Well,
ever.
all right. I'm gonna go back to the podcast. We're live right now, guys.
Let's go.
And come check us out, publicyemeni.com. You can call in 313. I forgot the number. 313-915-4933. I'll see you guys here. We on the podcast now. Okay. All right, Jeremy.
Yep, let's go.
Everything's going great with you, bro.
Everything's going amazing, man.
You're fucking blowing up, man. I see your face all over Hollywood now. You're the one that gave me really good advice where you were like, the game in Hollywood, Mike, is just get on posters.
Oh, shit. I said that? Ugh. I feel bad.
Why you feel bad?
Be funny.
Well, no. Of course, be funny. We were talking about like
Yeah, just I understand.
getting booked more and whatever.
Stay active, yo. People see your face, and then they, I think names are stronger than faces. Because people, you don't want people to see your name, you see your face, and go, oh yeah, that guy, or
Right.
you want people to see your name,
Right.
But if people see your face more, they
Right.
associate you with good things, great things. Dope shows.
Exactly.
It's just an association. But yo, you're doing your thing. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we're all trying to figure it out. But what I love now, I'll be driving down Hollywood and I see your big ass face on the side of the marquee of the Laugh Factory, bro. You're a door guy at the Comedy Store. You're regularly going up, man. It's great to see. It's great to see that hustle paying off, bro.
Yeah, you ain't lying, man. I mean, I do take it for granted sometimes, but then I have to think back to like where I was just knocking on the door at these places, and they didn't know my name, they didn't know my face, but I get warmly received pretty much everywhere. So
Good.
That's grateful. I'm grateful for that. You know what I'm saying?
How long you been doing comedy now?
11.
How long in LA?
12. The whole time.
The whole time?
Yeah, I started very, very briefly in Cincinnati, Ohio, but
Yeah.
I don't count that because I didn't get my bearings. I visited here. That's where I fucked up. I visited LA, and I went to Chocolate Sundays and I met David Arnold and Tony Rock and Tiffany Haddish.
Right.
Like immediately.
Right.
Like when I started comedy, and David Arnold said to me, he goes, man, if either you doing it in New York or LA or you just playing, like you're not taking it seriously. So I went back home and it fucked up everything. Like I don't even know how to interact with people.
You went back home
to
Cincinnati, and then that just gave you a like.
Well, I just I was just kind of still like I'll put it like this. That put it in my mind from comedy being part-time to being full-time. Like it's literally my brain was like, I'm not doing, I put everything was second to not living in LA at that time. Sure. You know, it's just like, damn, like that high I got, I didn't get it from my hometown. So I moved. Yeah. It was literally 4 months.
But I also think it's also very important for us to be around sharks. You don't want to be a big fish in a little pond. Yeah. You know, I like going out and then seeing other comedians hit that next level, and it makes me go, fuck, I got to go back to the lab, bro. Yeah, you know, I love that.
You're absolutely right. And I don't take anything back about me personally, but I do want to encourage comics to build in their own hometowns first before moving to major cities like, specifically LA and New York. Chicago, I'm 50-50 about. But I think it's important to build.
But you started here, though.
I started here, and there's obviously benefits to it.
Why is it important to build in your hometown?
Because you want that you don't want to be seen too soon. You know what I mean? When people see you really, I do believe in multiple first impressions, but that first impression is hard to shake off. And when you develop in your hometown, it's still technically a secret, or at least climbing to the top of that ladder. Yeah. And then so now if you're like one of the bigger fishes in Detroit, and you bring that momentum to LA, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Now you're like on top of major shows.
Basically, what you're saying is you wanna get yourself semi-polished before coming to a place like this.
Yes.
So that when you do start hitting the ground out here, you can actually hit it with some laughter and some confidence in the people that are watching you, right?
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, I think it's also, beneficial to even start here. You know, I know a lot of people are starting here. I started stand-up here, but I was doing other comedy shit starting in Detroit. So I really got into improv first, in Detroit. And like that's what got me into comedy. But then reality TV producing got me out here, and then I decided, you know what, I'm gonna go back to comedy, and then it ended up being stand-up.
Yeah.
So I started stand-up here, but I already had my 10,000 hours of stage time in.
Yeah,
does that make sense?
It's still different though. I mean, as much as I actually like to try to draw the parallels between like improv, sketch, and stand-up or whatever, but that stand-up beast is just way too, it's just that being out there on that lonely island type thing,
Yeah. I know that,
but as a performer, I totally get what you're saying.
No, but as a performer, so what I'm saying is that me having those 10,000 hours. Am I going the wrong way? Yeah, I should go this way. There you go. I just want to censor everything. I forgot what point I was going to make. God damn it. I was thinking about the goddamn camera, man.
But back to what you were saying earlier, though, I want to say the whole being around like big sharks or whatever. Like to kind of, it's true.
That's because everything.
Right. Because I say the era that I kind of started in, I'm starting to realize that it might be gone or just different completely. And I'm not saying that comics aren't funny these days or like, comics in these environments. But when I was miking like Tony Baker and certain people, they were miking.
They were miking.
Yeah, we all mic'd.
Tony Baker.
Yeah.
To me, like when I think of someone like Tony Baker miking, it drives me crazy because of how huge he is.
But that's what we did though.
Of course, that's what we all did. We all started that way. But
Yeah, but I'm trying.
It's just funny to think.
I'm trying not to do the thing where people.
It's almost like thinking about like your parents had sex.
Yeah.
Like what?
But that was like that culture was more. It was more antagonistic back then, and like.
Oh yeah,
but it was fun. But you don't realize it until later. Now things are, with the slotted mics, which they're not bad. It's just because I just recently started doing mics again. After not doing them for a long time, and I just realized the culture. I'm gonna sound like I'm talking about hip hop. Like yo, these niggas just soft today. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it was just more timidness. Like I say for better or worse back then to me. Like you were bringing like the wildest idea.
Sure.
Or like I wanted to shake the room.
Sure.
And I'm not like
I'm gonna try to this bit in an open mic that's even gonna offend the most offensive comics because at first it's so hard to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I have to keep doing this until I figure out how to make it palatable. Yeah. And right now it's almost like people are too timid to take those chances even at the open mic. Yeah. The place where you're supposed to bomb.
Right.
The place where you're supposed to take chances and say terrible things that don't work yet.
Right. But even like You're absolutely right. But to me, even when people think they're being risky, it's like people are tougher when they don't know their barriers. Like once people get a barrier, they're like, "Oh, I'm being edgy by saying this."
Sure.
When edgy was like, was wild. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like I can already tell. Like when I start hearing terms like people say PC or they go liberal Democrat or woke and all that stuff, and they won't say, oh, I'm trying to be woke. They'll say, oh, I don't want to offend the woke people in the room.
Yeah. I've said that before.
Yeah, but it's like, to me, it's like you're taking me out of it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like if you tell it, like if you about to have sex, you're like, man, I'm really about to have sex with you. No, I'm really good at sex, girl. You about to see this sex that we're about to have is the sexiest sex of all time.
You just ruined it.
I'm like, yo, just go hard. Like, I am not snitching. I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't even care about you being funny. I want the line to be pushed of my reality. You know what I'm saying? Like say something I haven't heard before.
Sure.
Do something. Impress me so I go, fuck, I wish I would have thought of that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. 100%.
And that's to me, that time period was that. To me.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. I'm just somebody walking a path that was laid before me and still going to go after
Same.
me. But I just say,
And
like,
I'm sure the people before us they're bitching about our era.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. Maybe absolutely. But I got some stories about that because fuck it, I'll just slide into it. Joe Torre. Oh no, sorry, Guy Torre. You know who that is?
I don't think so.
So Guy Torre, he used to run Fat Tuesdays. I'm not that old. I wasn't around for that. But when I first started, I met Guy Torre in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
He just happened to be doing a weekend at the Cincinnati Funny Bone.
Right.
And I just told him I'm a comic. I said I live in LA. I just trying to be in the green room and soak up, his energy or whatever. So he was a great guy, really humble and cool. He when he got time he was just sharing stories with me, asking me my experience. I was just like, yeah, it's just tough. In a lot back then, if you don't pop in the first year, you swear comedy's tough. It's just the most immature bullshit ever.
It was different, right? The
No,
environment was just different.
No, I was just being an immature.
Oh, you
child.
were thinking like that.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I thought you were saying in general people were like that.
I still think people think like that. They think, if you've been doing comedy 2 years, you're not the biggest name in the world. You're
right.
like, oh man, this game sucks. I'm gonna do something else.
Sure.
So I was just expressing that to him, and he was still being like nice about it. He was like, oh man, you'll get there. Just keep hustling all that stuff. So he goes up. And I recently just talked to him about this. That was the only way I feel comfortable saying it. He goes up. He does like 45 minutes, right? He gets off stage, and it was great to me. I was like, yo, that was amazing. He was like, man, that was terrible. I was like, yo, you killed it, man. He was like, yo, he turned him. He goes, what do you know, man? You only been doing comedy a year. He was like, yo. And he said, you complaining about what you doing. He said, man, I was PAing for Martin. I was running Fat Tuesday, and I was hosting for the Kings of Comedy, which at the time was the biggest comedy tour. And he said, I'm hosting for these guys. You talk about sharks. And he said, you're complaining about what, mics? You complain. He said, you're not working hard enough. And I was like, yee. So, but
That's good.
I understand
That's
now.
Great energy. That's good.
Yo, when a young comic comes to me about how hard they got it, I don't always express it, but you might, I'm literally thinking about paying bills right now. Like I am not trying to, I'm not as interested in a half-hour conversation about how great Richard Pryor is. No offense. I'm just saying, bro. I'm trying to get this bread, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Brother, I'm right there with you.
So, but yeah, only reason I'm telling the story.
But I also have to try to shut that off so I can enjoy just hanging and talking about Richard Pryor for half an hour.
It's hard, dog.
No,
it's
last
like
night I did it.
It's a balance.
You don't understand. I've been so stressed out with all the shit that I had to do. I have been going to the clubs and not really enjoying myself because I was still thinking about booking and this and that and the. Last night I went out. I just sat and watched the show, sat through the whole thing.
That is important.
Watch all my friends and other comics I haven't seen perform yet. Perform. It was nice. After that, drank and just didn't talk business. Just talked jokes and fun and laughing. And bro, I needed that. Anyways, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No, that's fine.
But I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. Yeah, you ain't got time. You're looking to get paid.
It's just you got other things going on.
Yeah.
But I ran into Guy Torre like about.
And you just got engaged. Congratulations.
Oh gosh, thank you.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect you to hit me with that dagger.
No, it's not a dagger, but I'm just saying that's probably got your brain on a different level.
Absolutely, you hit it on the head, bro. It's just like I'm thinking long term, indefinitely. You know what I'm saying? Like I have to.
You have to.
As I want to be a family man and all that stuff. But I ran into Guy Torre like 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And I hadn't seen him in years.
Okay.
So I was trying to, in a roundabout way, tell him like, yo, I felt you then, now. I respect you. I needed that. But it could tell, like, the moment I was like, you remember Cincinnati, blah, blah, blah? He's like, nah, man, no. I was like, yeah, you did 45 minutes. He said, I never do 45. I said, exactly. So that night, you did 45, and you were pissed. He said.
What do you mean he never does 45?
He said he does hour 15.
Okay, yeah.
So he went straight to back there. He's like, "Oh, I don't do 45." I said, "Exactly, because you were mad, and I said you did a good job, and you went off on me." But it's not, and not to vilify him or whatever. I just understand now the weight. Like it's like weightlifting. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a heavier comic. I'm not even talking about success. I'm just saying that what goes into the mentality of being a great comedian, that experience, that weight, the things you care about, concerned about, is also just a part of manhood in general. You know what I mean? Just like the things you worried about as a child, you don't worry about anymore. You know what I mean? You're more worried about these more manhood responsibilities.
Sure. Sure. Yeah. But then that's also when on the flip side of that coin, it's very important to still go back to that child that you were, because very important, bro. Yeah. We can't be only concerned about making money. That's very unhealthy, man. And then I think it'll taint your writing, because I'm not going to lie. I had a lot of growing pains over the last 2 months because the following blew up. Now I had to book my own shows and reach out to places, and the stress of having to fill these seats, and is the promotion going to work? How does it work? How does Facebook ads? There's a lot of admin and a lot of new learning that has nothing to do with writing comedy and making people laugh. Yeah. That makes you just go, oh my God, I got to do all this too. But after now, I kind of like acclimating into that new thing that I have to learn. Yeah. Now I'm learning how to downshift and bring myself back to open mic energy where everything is exciting. Yeah. Does that make sense?
No, it makes complete
because
sense.
Sometimes you can really bring yourself to think about the business so much that you just become a curmudgeon because you're too busy thinking about that next step, when instead you should be just having fun. And when you're having fun, especially when you're with comedians and you're having a good time, sometimes that's when my bits come out. Yeah. That's when sometimes I'll say something and I'm just like, oh, fuck, I got to write that down. But a lot of it came because I wasn't thinking about Facebook ads.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, I think we all need to find balance. Moderation is everything.
Everything, bro, right.
And,
except for weed.
Maybe. I ain't a weed head, so.
Come on, man.
It depends on, because I don't think you be realizing, not you personally, but people don't realize how high they are.
Oh no, I know. Some days I know I fucked up. Some days I know. Some days I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have got high today, bro. Today was not the day to get high. I completely fuck it up.
That's part of the reason why I don't smoke, because weed makes me do two things. It makes me want to
have gay sex.
Oh, you're wild. Yo, see, don't make me bring up what you heard earlier. Have
gay sex.
I said your house has clear. What's it? Clear bachelor. I said you have clear bachelor pad or
this is you said this is a I forgot what you said, but I
clear
thought
bachelor.
And what did I thought you said?
You said queer bachelor.
I thought you said yeah.
You said this is a queer bachelor.
Yeah, you said this is a clear bachelor pad. I'm like, a queer bachelor pad. I got mad. I'm like, what do you mean queer?
I was like, Mike got
the
gay.
Fuck, here's queer. There's a Marine Corps shit.
He got gay ears, man. He was like,
my ears are kind of gay though.
Hold on, wait, what? No, your ears are homophobic. Yeah, like what? No, what?
They're flaming. They're just out there, bro. That's why I have to tuck my fucking ears when I wear a hat, bro, because my ears are so big that they fucking flop down. I look like an Arab Wuhan bat. You know what I mean?
Man. Yeah, I never thought about your ears, dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got a good style. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you, bro. Yeah. But I mean, I said my ears are so big. When I wear hats, I gotta tuck them in.
Yeah. You tuck it. Oh, you wear the bigger hat to tuck the ears in. Like, do you do it on purpose?
I mean, I do it on purpose because it's not comfortable. Because before I used to have hair, the hair would hold the hat up. Yeah. Now that I don't have hair and I gotta wear it, and if I want to wear it down, because my ears are so fucking massive,
that's funny.
They go boop. And they like.
That's funny.
They like look like little like wings. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna have you go on stage one day with your ears out. I
gotta come up with a joke for that. That's probably what I gotta do. As a matter of fact, now I need to acknowledge that.
Something's funny about somebody going like, oh,
yeah, yeah. I know, bro. It looks weird, is what I'm saying. Not only that, it's just not only does it look weird. Sometimes some hats I just let my ears out because it sets differently. But when I want to wear it low, and I like wearing it low, rests on my ears, and the whole time all I know is like the hat's on my ears. It just bugs me. You know what I'm saying?
Man, I only wear hats if I'm having a bad hair day, which is every day. So that's
That's black struggle, bro. That's black struggle, man.
I'd be like, oh,
that's
shit.
black struggle. Was it Friday, the beginning of Friday, when they were panning in all the rooms of people sleeping, and then the sister was sleeping, and she's like holding her head up because she don't want to fuck up her hair, right?
Yeah,
and then she like slips, and she's like, oh,
hey,
she
that's
goes back to sleep.
That is real. That's real life. Man, look, I've seen that plenty of times. So yeah.
All right, let's talk hip hop, bro.
Let's go.
Because last time I tried to talk hip hop with you, and then the whole Palestine thing was popping off, and you wanted to know about Palestine. To me, what was funny is that I had every other podcast before that, all I was doing was talking about Palestine. I even had a Palestinian on to talk about Palestine, and then I brought you on to break up the monotony. Let's talk about hip hop, and you were like, "So tell me about Palestine." I'm like, "God damn!"
Well, it was fresh at the time, and trust me, I know so much about everything. That's one thing I just didn't know. And
I tried to be very balanced when I gave you the information. I tried to give you the information of how Arabs and proponents of the Palestinians look at it, and how the Zionist and Jewish people look at it.
Oh, I'm caught up now, like legit. Like I could do my own, like. But it's funny. It's just like I said, I'm a nerd about so many different.
That's
topics.
what we have to be.
Yeah, I had no idea about that. Period.
Because who knows, man? Yeah. Maybe later down the road, you might be able to draw parallels.
Oh, I do.
With the Palestine conflict. Maybe one day you'll be able to figure something out, right? Where you're like, that's like this, and then it'll fucking work. Like your DMX bit that we played, which I was telling you, man. I think I love that bit so much.
I had this joke about like it's an anti-Semitic like comparison joke or whatever, right? And before Kanye made it hot,
right?
I dropped it when he started. I was like, "Fuck," he took the thing. But yeah, literally in my comments.
Can you tilt your microphone up a little bit?
Oh,
no. You can just tilt this up like this so that it's kind of like shooting towards your mouth.
I don't think I can actually.
No. Oh no, that's fine. All right, that's good. There you go.
I could just put it closer.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it was just a joke about like that topic. It wasn't even like that. But in my comments, people was like, "Do you support? So you don't support Palestine?" I was like, "Yo, this is a different topic. Trust me.
Yeah.
I would love to get into that, but this is a 30-second bit."
Yeah, bro. And you know what? That's the thing about anything that you do about something that's controversial.
Yeah,
you're gonna piss somebody off.
Yeah,
there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah,
like I got this video that I created, that sketch where I played two different versions of me, and one's like a Middle Eastern version of me, and it's called Muslims Who Eat Bacon, and then the one Muslim catches the other Muslim eating bacon.
Yeah,
and he's like, "What the fuck are you eating bacon?" The other guy's like, "You're smoking a cigarette." He's like, "So that's not in the Quran." You know what I mean?
Funny, yeah.
And then it's like back and forth, and then the guy who's like not eating bacon is damning the other one to go, "You're going to hell." Right?
Yeah.
So he's judgmental.
Yeah.
Then he gets a phone call, and then the guy's like, "You're cheating on your wife," and then it turns out he's gay. There's a man on the phone. So then the guy who's chastising is also sinning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the whole idea, and I love doing that thing because partly it's part of my life. I'm Muslim. I eat bacon, right?
Yeah.
And then at the same time, I've seen these hypocrites within the Muslim community, right?
Oh, yeah.
So let me fucking talk about that. And the good thing is that when I put it up, the majority of people who love it, they all, my favorite comments are the people who are like, "Oh my God, Catholics do the same thing."
Oh, every
somebody else,
people,
holy fucking shit, I thought it was only Christians that were like that. So,
oh, man.
So to me, it's like, I love it when you get people that have this eye-opening experience where I'm drawing parallel. Well, I do something that's happening in my community, and other people go, "That happens with you guys too?" Like they can't even realize it. But here's the thing. On the flip side, I'm also getting comments like, "Muslims are going to hell anyway." You know what I say? Or like people telling me, like Muslims going, "You're bad for making this video."
Yeah.
Or what? And they don't get it.
Yeah.
You know, and you can't
do nothing
worry
about
that shit.
Yeah.
You know?
Man, look, that they're feeding the fuel for the fires, so that's all good. I mean, no such thing as bad attention. But I'll say the one that I think they'll get the most, that needs to get more spotlight, is fucking Jehovah's Witness and birthdays. They literally say, "Oh, I can't do this because it's your, oh man, I would love to come, but I can't. I'm Jehovah's Witness."
What's the Jehovah's Witness and birthday thing?
I think they don't celebrate holidays, like any holiday.
Okay,
like,
can you give us some?
I'm not Jehovah's Witness, by the way.
But do you know a lot about this?
This is enough. I don't want.
Okay.
I don't want to be the Jehovah's Witness expert.
I'm just trying to.
I don't want to be a witness.
They don't celebrate birthdays.
Yeah, they're not supposed to. But they'll give an excuse on them not doing, like, "Oh, I can't come to this. I can't come to this because of that. I can't come to this because of that."
Right.
And then next you know, it'll be like, "Yo, you didn't tell me happy birthday." I'll be like, "Well, you know."
Oh Okay.
Like, come on, I don't give you a birthday gift. Like, I don't give you. I got a gift for you. They're supposed to be like, nah, that's okay.
Yeah, it's an imaginary gift.
But I
Your
get
gift is my presents.
I get the
I don't give you
complexity
presents.
of
I
it.
give you my presents.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about hip hop.
Let's go.
What's new in hip hop? Let's talk about it. But what's pissing you off in hip hop? What's the newest thing that's happening in hip hop? Because a lot of people who are like me, I know the crazy thing about hip hop is, okay, it's like its own nation,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like hip hop became such a force,
Yeah.
that within the black community, it's treated as a legit sort of like a cultural federation.
That's
right?
exactly what it is.
And there's royalty.
Yes.
And there's levels. And
Right.
and
But let's be more specific.
we wax poetic about these people in a way that almost like people would have like worshipped like Egyptian pharaohs and stuff, right? Within its own construct.
Right. But I'm glad you said it that way. But I'm very specific when it comes to certain words, whatever. But like hip hop is American culture. You know what I'm saying? It's a black American culture, but it's also equally American culture, like the root. And it's also the biggest music genre globally. So you got to understand that
Biggest,
yes, biggest hip-hop
without a doubt.
Without a doubt. This happened a few years ago where they just numbers and scale. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, just think about it. It ain't country music. You know what I mean? At one point, maybe rock, but it's hip hop is the biggest musical genre globally. It's affected everything.
Damn, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying like that's the reason why I'm specific with words. Something that happened, something that was a black American culture that happened in the Bronx one day. Well, it happened before that, but when they finally put a term on it and coined it, affected. Like I said, America, like black America takes credit for it. New York can take credit for it. Black America needs to take credit for it. America needs to take credit for it, and then the world and show how it affected the world. You know what I mean?
It really did affect the world.
Absolutely, and
right?
it's not. It's all good. And like I'm glad you said the comparison to like Egyptian pharaohs and all that stuff, because Egypt had such a big impact, especially technology wise, on the entire globe.
Sure.
So in hip hop, same thing. Like if you want to push anything, the best way to get the message out. I mean, the fact that we're even able to have conversations like Kanye West debatably running for president. Now, it's not even the fact that he, like take away all the stuff that he's done and said. It's the fact that this is even a technical conversation. You know what I mean? That shows the impact that it has globally. You know what I'm saying? Like this should be a joke, but it's getting closer to not being a joke.
Yeah, I know, right?
Maybe not Kanye, but the next
Right?
one. There, we will see a time where somebody who is a hip hop
Will be
advisor
president.
can be a president taken seriously.
Yeah.
Because if you want to affect things economically, globally, in any aspect, like the fact that somebody like a Jay-Z could buy a sports team. You know what I'm saying? Like that shows that, and buying real stuff and pushing real products that affect the economy. Hip hop is. It's to the point where
You say that one's going to be a president one day, but with our luck, it'll be a mumble rapper.
I mean, that's I don't want to be too diplomatic today, but all that's a part of hip hop. Now it divides into different spectrums, but mumble rap, a lot of this stuff is time based. Like why hip hop wasn't respected, why it is so respected now. It just had its 50th birthday. It's a very young art form.
50?
Right.
It's been wow. You're right. It has been 50 years. Wow, bro.
Yeah. So
that's half a century.
Right.
That's crazy.
Yes. To think about,
I didn't even think that, bro.
That's very young. Most art forms are ranged back hundreds if not thousands of years. You know what I mean? Like I played keys, whatever. Did in school, whatever. You talk about the people you study and classic musicians, Bach, Beethoven, all that stuff. It's 100 years of history. You know what I'm saying? Art, I mean, that goes back to the dawn of time. You talk about 10,000 years of history. Hip hop as a musical genre is only 50 years old. You know what I mean? So that's where it's like things that are in its infancy is not going to get respect. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, what is that thing that you're doing over there?
Yeah, and especially it was hard for people to sort of respect it because people couldn't respect the ingenuity of the people in the black community, in the ingenuity of what do you call it when DJs in hip hop evolved from the fact that people in the hood didn't have actual instruments. So what they would do is they would get records and they would find a motion where it's like a beat break.
Yeah. The
get down.
The get down. What's it? The breakdown.
The breakdown.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the idea was they would try to get 2 of those records.
Yeah.
And what the DJ did, what a lot of people don't really respect, you got to respect it now, considering now we do it all with computers. But these motherfuckers were out there with 2 turntables, and hitting the what do you call the 4-beat, the measure? What do you call that? The bar.
Yeah.
They would hit a bar where there's no lyrics.
Yeah.
And then they would rewind this one and then play that one.
Yeah.
And then before that one they would and so that's what was keeping the beat.
Yeah.
So they were sort of borrowing the beat from something that was already established. They only pick a portion of it where there's no singing.
Yeah.
And then they just double it, and the guys would keep that going while somebody else rapped over that beat.
Absolutely.
And people then, I guess, looked at hip hop as, what the fuck is that? They're not even using instruments.
Yeah.
Or they're stealing. Or they're borrowing. That's not talent. That's
Yeah.
how it was kind of looked at, right?
Well, you're absolutely right. I think it more goes into it than that, but that is definitely like big on the origins of it. Yeah. So yeah, when it comes to music, because I always talk about jazz is an American art form too that was started by black people as well. And
so is rock and roll.
Well, yeah, but that jazz came from rock and roll. Rock and roll came from jazz,
Right.
But jazz was the root. And everything plays into culture as far as like what makes people do what. So like the music they were making back then, they would actually have an extended portion, like you said, to make people dance. So they would like, get like the get down, like you said. So whatever.
Yeah.
So that's
so
why
they would have these long breaks where it's just instrumentals.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Even the old rock albums had that. Like if you look at listen to like Nights in White Satin, which is an old rock. The song is like 12 minutes, bro, because the music goes, and then they have literally like a 7-minute instrumental where the music just plays and changes. And
if you ever playing for a group of people and you're like, and you see them like really get into it, you don't go, all right, let me stop. You go like, man, let me extend this part.
Exactly.
And
they put it on the records, which is great.
And it's funny since we're talking about rock and roll, but we're gonna go back to hip hop real quick because this information keeps coming up. I hate the fact that I don't know this guy's name, but basically where rock and roll came from, there's a guy, I think it was George Johnson, I think his name, something like that. It's crazy because I went to Garrett Moore's birthday party or whatever. They were doing comedy and stuff like that and music, and he said basically he went down to the river. Not Garrett Morris, George Johnson, whatever. He went and he said he made a deal with the devil, and he brought him back. Was it with the blues? I hate the fact that I'm not being accurate right now, but and that's where he got that rhythm from that turned into rock and roll and all that stuff.
Who did? Who's this?
Oh, I hate to do this shit. I need to write down stuff.
Well, we don't have to, bro. It's okay.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah. But that was like he made a deal with the devil. That's what they said it came from. It's fucking crazy.
He said that.
He said the devil. He went to the river and to do like the devil. He said he talked to the devil. The devil came back with that rhythm and gave it to the people. That's why a lot of people believe that that blues rhythm. That's not even a rock and roll yet. That blues rhythm, that riff. Yeah. They consider it devil's music.
Why?
Because I think it's just that hard bass synth like sound, like it's just like dun, 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 dun. They considered that in the church community. They considered that like the devil's music.
I can see like in contrast, if you contrast that to what the music people were used to listening to then, right?
Yeah.
Everything was probably very high pitched and whatever, and then all of a sudden people start dropping ass and they're like, wait a minute, there's another level here.
But at times,
and I can see how like that that really low stuff. Yeah, they're like Satan.
Yeah,
this has to be Satan.
But look, then look how music evolved though, to where when people just only started doing that, they like, that's more satanic or whatever in nature. But to me, I think the real crime is it's being new more than anything. Like the concept of, this is what we're used to. I don't know what this new thing is, so it must be wrong. And I'm trying to divorce that mentality, even though there's some new stuff that's trash. But like to say mumble rap. I say like we're I think we're in an era where mumble rap is accepted as legitimate hip hop. Like,
really?
And I'll tell you the forefather of it, to me at least right now, and I love to be proven wrong, to me is Future.
Okay.
Because even though he's auto-tuned as well, Future can do whole songs. I was making a joke with somebody. They were saying like, how I was talking about how I watched Nas, my favorite rapper, and I was watching Nas during a concert, and he forgot the words to one of his songs or whatever, or at least it seemed that way. And I was like, I know every word you ever said. Let me do it. And then somebody was like, what if Future forgot the words of his song? I said, nobody would notice.
No one would notice. That's hilarious. No one would notice.
But Future, I think he came out 2009.
Yeah.
And like he just won a Grammy for some song. I forgot what song he did, whatever. But that just goes to show you that if he's accepted as legitimate culture, look how long that took, to where he was like a mumble. They were just like, oh, these new guys, like, F them, to where he's considered a part of hip hop history now.
I know, man. I mean, but then that is like, listen, man. It's all subjective anyway, right? What we think is good.
This is fact. No.
But I mean, it's all subjective,
right, it's subjective,
man. Because like, I mean, when I listen to mumble rap, there's something about it that I'm like, I can see how people would like it. And then if I was young at that time, like if that was the music that I grew up with, he would be the shit to me. He would be the fucking shit to me. But I mean, I can't help it. But I grew up in an era where for the longest time, a lot of rap was how well can you write? How well can you oratate?
I'll be honest with you. I don't think that was ever like the priority
compared to mumble rap
and hip hop. I think honestly, first priority is the song good.
Is the song good? I get that. No, I'm not talking about that. But I'm just saying, like, listeners of hip hop, we would,
Okay, I'm sorry.
The beat was everything, but then also
I hate to do this to you, but you got to be specific because this is where the debates happen. You have to be like this is a song that I say this is like where this came from. Because even me, like I say, it's hard to define mumble rap. I'm like,
you listen to any song, man, that I was into growing up. Even if like you go to the early 2000s, mid 2000s, like 15, or even up to 2020, man, the rappers were saying stuff that was concise enough to be like, I see how you're actually using intellectual energy to create something that's not something that I can do. You know what I mean? Like your lyrics, how you put those words in, and you can almost hear these people like, I see where you're going with this, right? Even if they're saying shit that's incoherent. Yeah. Like what's his name? LP from was it Run the Jewels?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Right? Yeah. The white Jewish kid, right?
Yeah.
His raps they don't make sense. A lot of the things that he says is just like, it's like he's tripping on mushrooms, right? And it's so metaphorical, right? But he's actually saying shit. You know what I mean?
This is why I feel
there's poetic breakdown, there's alliteration, there's assonance. So there's they're hitting all those markers is what I'm saying.
This is very true. I feel you. But I think the best way to go about it, which I think they're actively doing, and this is why I can't say too much negative about it, is when the older culture embraces the younger culture, we get this new thing. You know what I'm saying? Like the Migos were rejected for a while. You know what I mean? Because literally they had a song Versace. You know what I mean? But when you hook them up with like a Pharrell, you get songs like Stir Fried. I like that song.
I love Stir Fried. That's
right.
Great.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's important to embrace the younger culture. I'll tell you, like, I was never really big in the Future, but I love the song I Got the Keys with Jay-Z and Future. That song's hard. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think I remember that song.
The song, I got the keys. It's a DJ Khaled song, and then, Jay-Z, he's pretty much talking about the keys to success. But you got
Jay-Z doing all the heavy fucking lifting.
Nah, man, Future got the hook, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, the hooks, that's what gets people into the song. That's why he's a hook master. That's what carried him. You know what I'm saying? You have to combine these elements.
I think you make a very good point.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
Since we're getting older, like you and me specifically, we have to get wiser about that because it's easy to reject the newer thing, but that's what happened to hip hop in its infancy anyway. It got immediately rejected because it was new.
What you're saying is it takes me back to when you start learning art.
Yeah.
And one of the rules of art is there's no mistakes.
Yeah,
it's what you do with it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that's a genius thing, right? It's kind of like when you're on stage and you fuck up your joke.
Yeah.
Right? You acknowledge it and then you add on to the fuck up.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
You add on to the fuck up. So like one of my clips is like, I talk about how I had a compressed disc in my neck after a snowboarding accident.
Sheesh.
Right? But then at the Comedy Store in La Jolla, I was just like, I got a compressed dick in my neck. Yeah, they put a dick in my neck. And then I just went on with it. You know what I mean?
They put a dick in your neck.
Yeah, but I
That's like a
fucked up.
hard bar. Let me put this dick in your neck, girl.
But what I'm saying is that is like taking art and saying there's no mistakes. I made the mistake, but then instead I rolled with the mistake.
Yeah.
And then created something new.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
Here I am going, ugh, this mumble rap, what the fuck? Instead, you know, you should adapt and figure out how can this work? And I think you're right, like where you could take the old and the new and then create something even better, right?
It's already happening.
That's a very good point, man. That's
bro, we live
I stand corrected. That's a very good point.
You're, all of this is important information. Fucking Soulja Boy is getting his flowers as an OG now. Like, that's weird as fuck, bro. Like, Soulja Boy was clowned so heavy and he was like the opposite of what you would consider good hip hop.
Yeah.
But he's made so many active contributions to the art form that is hip hop.
That's true.
That is like, and you gotta be careful because you don't want to make the old man mistake. We all make mistakes, right? But Ice-T made the mistake of going at Soulja Boy early on, right? And it was funny.
He did, huh?
Yeah, he made the big mistake. And look, I love Ice-T. Total big respect to
Can you recap what happened for those of us that don't know?
Oh, I'm definitely about to. But I just want to say something. Whenever you listen to the old school hip hop, no matter how dope it is, sometimes you be like, oh, this is kind of weird. You know what I mean? Like Ice-T, first of all, if you have a lisp, you know.
You mean to pull a list up?
No, I said a lisp.
Oh, lisp. Oh, okay.
Yo, I'm gangster. I'll show you how you do it. I'm gonna say when the file with the music. Like, come on, give me a second, bro. Like, I love you, but maybe you should be a writer.
Or maybe you need to get new dentures or some shit, bro.
No, I don't want to clown Ice-T. I love Ice-T. But look, so who's one of the founders of gangster music, period. You know what I'm saying? But
oh yeah, man, I used to listen to him back in the day, bro.
And then he plays a cop on TV for you. But anyway, but yeah, Ice-T, you know, he immediately seen a Soulja Boy who was like the epitome of, you know, bad rap at the time. Like, he was the mascot for it. Like, what Ronald McDonald is to McDonald's, he was the
clown.
Yeah,
he's the clown of hip hop.
Yeah, but you got to be careful. You got to make sure you shoot right and correctly. Ice-T did a whole like video, like, you know, that went viral about Soulja Boy. He was like, yo, he said, man, you not doing real hip hop. He said, boy, you can suck a dick. That's what he told
I remember
Soulja Boy,
that.
right? So Soulja Boy,
I remember that.
He said you need to suck a dick. Now Soulja Boy, though you could think what you want about him, at the time he made you know, with the Superman song, which is a dance, it incorporated more hip hop than majority of that stuff going on around that time. Soulja Boy, like, okay, let's talk about what hip hop is before I go into the benefits of hip hop.
Okay,
benefits of
go, bro. I'm gonna try to see if I can find this video. Go.
Yeah, hip hop is not just the rap music. That's one element of it. You know what I mean? You have break dancing, you have the clothing choices and stuff like that. It's a whole style. Graffiti is different aspects. It is a culture. You know what I'm saying? And you know, of course, rap is the forefront. It takes up a lot of that intellectual space, but hip hop is all of that. You know what I'm saying? And then other genres by proxy ends up taking from hip hop too. But at the end of the day, hip hop takes, you know, majority of that. So Soulja Boy comes in and you know, whether you like it or not, because I didn't like necessarily, wasn't into it or not. I said the part that I didn't like the most, he extended how tall tees were allowed to be. Like,
who did?
Soulja Boy.
Oh,
at first they were already like, you know, we was already in the 3X. Soulja Boy was like, what if I just wore a gown? All right.
I know.
So okay, you had
that's hilarious.
The tall tee. You had the glasses with the writing on it. He wrote on his glasses, Soulja Boy. Then he had the dance. You know what I mean? And, like, I mean, it was kind of clownish behavior. I get it.
Hey, I got the video here.
What Ice-T, this 50-year-old at the time, shouldn't be doing is telling he shouldn't be telling Soulja Boy, who's, I think he was 16 at the time, underage, to suck a dick.
That's
Soulja
hilarious.
Boy is so smart. He said, what you doing? He said, I'm dancing, having fun with my friends and making money. He said, you an old ass man telling a kid to suck a dick. Yo, good thing cancel culture wasn't around back then, because
this was like what, 2008?
2000, yeah, about 2007, 2008. Yeah,
it's right at the housing market crash, bro.
He told, that's funny. He
true.
told an underage man to suck a dick. You don't do that. Joking or non-joking, that's a sex crime by itself.
I remember that, man. And he was acting all pissed off and shit. Wasn't he wearing his sunglasses too?
Well, he was trying to be hard, but he was 80s hard. He was, yo, man, You don't be making that bad hip hop, man.
That's a very good Ice-T, bro.
You don't do that, man.
Do you do that on stage?
No, I don't
you
do
got to
that.
do an Ice-T, but that's if you can do like a thing where like let's say, and I'm trying to do more of this is like where you do a joke, right?
Yeah.
Then you're done with the joke, and then you do what if?
Yeah. What if Ice-T?
And then then you go, what if the president was Ice-T? And then you can do like all those acts. That'd be great.
What if Ice-T was the spokesperson for prison reform? Hey man, you don't do that, man. you let the young boys go, man. You let them go so they can suck a dick, man.
That's what you do in prison, man.
Tell them to stop sucking dick so they can suck a dick outside. That's so bad, man. Cancel me, guys. That's terrible.
Soldier Boy.
But yeah, man, like I said, and trust me, I can play devil's advocate. I can equally shit on Soldier Boy or whoever you need me to. But I'm just saying, I understand where we are in hip hop now is combining, I don't even want to say old school.
Hey, what's up, Scippio, man? I want to reply to all this internet drama that's going down. You know what I'm saying? I said something about this kid, Soldier Boy.
That's the apology. No, let's play the original. That's the apology.
Oh, that's the apology?
Yeah, fuck that. That's the apology. Sorry, I shouldn't have said suck a dick. I didn't realize he was a child. I would never tell a child to suck a dick on purpose.
Is that what
it ain't my fault he looked like he 35.
It looks like the internet. Looks like the internet is fucking like kind of slow, so I'm not gonna fuck with it.
No, that's all good, man. Ice-T probably doing his best to scrub that from the internet. but that's the thing. Like I said, we are getting.
That's a very good point with the old and the new, bro. I'm right there with you.
Yeah, man. And
that's a very good point.
Because the more time expand, the word old school and new school is getting blurrier and blurrier. You know what I'm saying? Like Drake and Kendrick been rapping like 10, 15 years almost now.
Yeah.
So I like when I ask people like what new school artists you like, and they say the safe answer like Drake and Kendrick and J. Cole. I'm like, they've been rapping since 2008 and 9, bro. Yeah. You can't say that as an answer no more. They're in history books. Like, yo, they're part of hip hop history.
Kendrick Lamar is someone I respect.
Yeah.
He puts effort into what he does.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like to me, it's like I understand why I'm still with the whole mumble rap. It's like I listen to mumble rap, I'm like, that sounds good, but he didn't leave me with anything. So for example, how I was talking about your bit about we just played with DMX, which is a genius bit where you pimp the American audience into seeing, that
I like this description.
That if you want to vote, you better know how to fucking say the things that are in the Constitution. So you try to get people to do it, and then everyone falters, right? Mm-hmm. And then you hit them with the DMX up in here, and everyone knows that, and you're like, and then you hit them with that. Yeah. I forgot what I was gonna say. What the fuck was I talking about?
I think you're making the point about Kendrick Lamar, how he's
so Kendrick. So okay. So that's a bit that I remember, right? Yeah. There are things that comedians will say on stage, and after the show, forever after you saw that, you're like, man, remember that bit? It's right. Then you have other comedians that'll get up there and, like I said, they're funny as fuck, right? But they don't have any substance in what they're saying. Yeah. And then afterwards, you're like, can you even really remember anything that person said?
Absolutely.
Not really. So I kind of look at hip hop that way, right? Mm-hmm. Because Kendrick Lamar will drop bars over a great fucking beat, and it's memorable. And now it's like I can recite that and remember that, and that's something. This fucking mumble rap shit, I'm like. How do I take that to the streets?
All controversial opinions today. All controversial opinions. Kendrick Lamar's a mumble rapper too.
Fuck you, dude. Man, get the fuck out of here.
Come on, man.
He's not traditionally what you would think of a mumble rapper, right?
Right.
But I can name a bunch of Kendrick Lamar songs where you don't even know what he's saying. I know you don't know what he's saying.
But then there's a lot of songs where you know exactly what he's saying.
Yeah, and he's super versatile.
So maybe he's changing his tone and trying to like adopt that to like play in that arena.
Well, he's this proves more to his greatness, but it's also like now it's the new requirement where you have to be skilled at multiple facets.
Sure.
Like how they say LeBron can play any position on the court. Like Kendrick is a type of rapper who can play any position. And that's why he's able to be, I guess, the term new school, old school. He can jump on anybody's track. You know what I mean? But, because I even tell you this one, like Jay-Z, right? They said you know, with him and Nas going back and forth. But everybody knows this. Anybody who knows Jay-Z, like who knows the history of Jay-Z, you know, when he first came out, he used to rap like the Fushnikins. You know, you familiar with that? Mm-hmm. Like he would rap like jigga the A, jigga the Y, you know, you know, like that. And
I loved it though.
Right. But that style, like when it aged out, he changed it because it wasn't in.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And you have to be versatile.
Sure.
You know, just like I put like this, like a lot of people don't see the genius when you say simple things, but they'll see it when they know that you can do other things. Like you can switch genres, and I think that proves more to the mastery that you as an individual have over a craft. Yeah,
absolutely. I think you got to get this closer to, because don't you sound like quieter or no?
I mean, I don't know. I hate hearing my voice, so if I sound quieter,
that's the problem, bro.
Yeah. How about this?
I don't want you to be like, oh, you know, you don't got to be like.
I mean, I think I talk pretty.
Make out with the goddamn mic, bro.
I think I talk pretty aggressive, so I'd be like,
you know. But I'm looking at the levels. You know, I'm just trying to make sure, you know, that we're on the same level. So,
of course.
Yeah, to me, I love it. I love hip hop, bro. Okay, right now, we talked about this before.
Yeah,
especially on the podcast that we did years ago. Yeah. About hip hop and stuff.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Who would you say?
Okay.
Of all hip hop artists so far, to this date, the GOAT.
Oh man.
See, you don't like fucking answering this.
Well,
shit.
cause it's the most. I'll do it so you can get your clicks and views. But then I don't think it's a great question overall, because it's
okay. Then structure the question.
I'll answer.
Help me with the.
I'll answer. I want to answer.
I don't like your question. I don't think you're good at structuring questions.
Not you,
bro.
Not you. It's just that everybody's so concerned with that, which is I just don't think it's as important. And the reason why is because, you know, the term greatest of all time is very specific, right?
Not really. It's more of a blank, like, of all time.
Well, in my eyes, it is, because to me,
very broad.
It's broad because we're not 100% sure on the categories that are involved, and I think each individual person, they don't want to acknowledge how many categories it is. To me, if you're saying great, like best and favorite are two different questions, right?
Sure.
So best to me is less biased. It's more about like how many categories, and do you and how proficient each artist is in these categories.
Right.
So the shortest answer I can give is like the two rappers that come to mind who are like the biggest and most debated in the most categories. You know what I mean? Not just sales, not just wordplay, not just hits, not just, you know, because everybody has their own version of that, and they won't express it with words, they just express it with emotions. No, man, because that shit didn't go hard in the club. What the fuck does that mean? You know, like, yo, no, he got more number ones. What the fuck does that mean? Like, it's like best of all time is you're killing it in the most categories that are possible to be in categories. You know what I mean? To me, that boils down to between Jay-Z and Eminem, and y'all can fight amongst yourselves overall to the end of time, you know, who is the mastery of that. Because yeah, Eminem has sold more, but Jay-Z is, you know, more versatile in the, you know, in like the, and Jay-Z is older. His legacy in hip hop, but Jay-Z and Nas are going back and forth. And Nas is my favorite rapper, by the way, like bar none, and I can prove it time and time again. But Jay-Z used this very slick line where he goes, "You've been in it 10, I've been in it 5. Smarten up, Nas. 4 hours and 10 years, nigga, I can divide." People go, "Oh my God, that's accurate." Jay-Z's old as fuck, bro. He was rapping back then with Jaz-O. That wasn't 5 years deep. He's a fucking liar. Yeah, 96, your first album came out, but nigga, you're old. You know what I'm saying? You old as fuck, bro. You were in a music video with a dude, like you was rapping back then. So my thing is like, okay, that's important.
Right.
Like, yo, so yeah, greatest rapper, somebody who can come from 1987 and still put a song out in 2023.
Right.
And it's be relevant. You know what I'm saying?
It's almost like LeBron James being like in the game for so fucking long. That's the only way that you break that record.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But my thing is, if that is important to you to figure out who is the greatest of all time in that, like whatever categories, whatever you want to debate, that's fine. The reason why I don't think it's important is because it doesn't speak to what's like actually what you're actually trying to measure. You know
a lot of people would, and I would think a lot, of course, a lot of people would find that very controversial that Eminem is on the top.
Absolutely. But like I said, okay, then you go into like, okay, like the
There's
benefits.
a lot of people that you know, they'll just be like, when you say that, they're like, you don't know shit about hip hop.
Yeah, but that okay, but then you could put it into a category like, okay, what is hip hop? You know, then if Eminem's not hip hop, then Beastie Boys not hip hop. You know what I mean? So it's you know, and let me not get into race because then I go like, well, who's really running shit? Like who makes the most money off of it? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like,
you know, can I just interject with this?
Go for it.
I think that like, and I'm for sure. You correct me if I'm wrong, and I know you will. But no, because I don't know what I'm talking about. This is what I think I know, right? Mm-hmm. Black culture is very, very protective of hip hop because we have a long history of. Well, maybe not anymore. But what I'm saying is that like, what I'm saying is that like, even like, you know, when Eminem like took forever to get the Source cover, right? Mm-hmm. Right. There was a controversy there where it was like, yo, this guy is fucking killing it. Why isn't he getting the accolades that he should be getting early on? Like, you know, when Eminem first came out, there was this sort of like, yo, this kid is fucking amazing. Right. But it's almost like the community didn't fully embrace him because he was white.
Yes and no.
Does that make sense?
Yes and no.
Am I wrong in saying that? Because to me, it's like, it's like with hip hop, it's become this royalty like type of federation that, you know, and by all means, that of course the majority of people who have a say in it or that have the most influence are African Americans, right? So the idea is like, to me, it's like, it's almost as if like, you know, we saw how white people stole from black people to make rock and roll and all these other shit, that hip hop became a thing where black people were like, nah, we're making sure that this thing stays.
Hip hop is,
that you guys know, you know, who are the originators.
Controversial opinion. Hip hop has always been inclusive. Always, from the root. The Jewish people have been just as important to the progress of hip hop as
for sure
as black people.
You got Rick Rubin and you know.
Yeah, but sure. I need to be very specific, especially when I'm talking about race and controversial opinions. The reason why is because though it's dope, it was a dope thing that was happening in the Bronx. You needed the people who put the money into it for it to be heard globally and accepted, especially when they're going against what the common thing was that this isn't music.
Right.
So you had those people put money into it.
Right.
So and to allow people into the culture, they've always been allowed. So there's that barrier is all in people's brains. Now, you talk about this new thing where people are becoming aware of the past and going like, hey, well, black people aren't getting a fair shake in other parts of society. You know, maybe we should have been more protective. You know what I mean, of that culture, right? But you know, but a lot of people are only incomplete in their knowledge of the history. If you understand how things are intertwined, things make more sense. You know what I mean? On why it became what it is. But that's for each individual to do their research so they know what took place. What Eminem was not the first white rapper, and his plight on elevating as a white rapper in a black dominated culture thing is no different than a black person trying to move their way up in any white environment. That's just a part of society. Sure. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, but it wasn't exclusive. You know what I mean? It wasn't like, oh, Eminem's so fucking dope. Mind you, he was saying all these dope raps and being, you know, moving up and, you know, killing it on the Detroit scene, or, you know, he got discovered the way you're supposed to get discovered by anybody. You know what I'm saying? That's a fair shake. But I say in a sense of, you know, like he was being boxed out because he was white, not necessarily. Like up like this, maybe on a high school bully level, but not on a global acceptance level. And by this way, you know, if it's weird to accept him saying the weird shit he was saying, then fucking yeah, he was saying weird ass shit. You know what I'm saying? So it is debatable on how it makes you feel. That's each individual allowed to feel that way. I mean, he was talking about, you know, he was
killing his mom and shit.
But it was dope. It was ill, you know, that ill level of rap, which that's another category people don't think about. Like certain rappers are allowed to be ill and other rappers are not. What I mean by that is like Biggie would say like ill rhymes, you know what I mean? Where it wasn't about like the actual the context of what he was saying as much as it was on how these two ideas run against each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like the fact that he made you think like that made you go, what the fuck?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which Eminem, I understand he was doing that. But if somebody goes, that ain't hip hop, and you go, what shit, I need to show you examples. But they're allowed to feel that way. That's what I'm saying. Like, so to say greatest of all time is such a like a, to me, I hear it loud and clear. But
because some people will make the argument that, you know, Yeah, well, Eminem captured a predominantly white audience, and of course, that's going to bring in more sales.
Absolutely, and that's what I said. That's one category. That's one category, and he got chosen as the.
But
white,
if you took that category out of sales, then like what category do you think most people hold? You know, these rap quote unquote gods to? Like, so you say
how it made them feel in the moment. That's the most important one.
Yeah.
Whether they want to admit it or not, it's all feeling based.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, you need both. You need rubric to hold people down accountable. Jay-Z's men lie, women lie, numbers don't. And like I said, Jay-Z,
rubric.
Yeah, some type of
What's rubric?
That's just like saying like some type of categorization system. You know what I mean? Like you need that. Like, you know, like
structure.
Yeah, like, you know, in school, like, you know, you can't really track how much somebody has learned. You just give them a test. That's the only thing you can do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then retest, and that's it. You know, you can't say that doesn't mean that this person's smarter than this other person. You know, it just means they passed this specific test. You know what I mean? It don't mean they're better. It just means you passed a specific test. The only reason why I just say all things considered, for me personally, that's the debate on that. But once again, that has nothing to do with favorite. That has nothing to do with how it hits me. That doesn't do like best writer. That's just like, if you saying all these categories, this is the collective amount of information that everybody, like, you just ran data. You know what I'm saying? Which, by the way, I want to talk about the list that Billboard generated, because that list is controversial as well.
I'm going to put it up right now.
But that's the newest.
Is it really controversial?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
You're serious?
For the names that are left off, absolutely. Like a lot of, like this, that list that they generated, a lot of people on the list, that wouldn't be their list.
All right, so here it is. I got it on the screen right now. It's right below you. It's Billboard's top 10 greatest rappers of all time. I'll go from bottom up, okay?
Sure.
At number 10, Nicki Minaj. Number 9, Snoop Dogg. 8, Drake. 7, the person responsible for Drake, Lil Wayne. 6, B.I.G. Number 5, Eminem. Number 4, Tupac Shakur. 3, Nas. 2, Kendrick Lamar. And number 1, Jay-Z.
Yeah.
And this is controversial. Why? Nicki Minaj.
Let's see. Controversial. Why? I like I said, I just think that people think about certain names that aren't on the list. I mean, or let's talk about the names on the list. You know, the fact that Drake is on the list is probably hyper controversial. But, you know, to say is he's not killing it. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't know the criteria that this stuff is based on. You know what I mean? And certain rappers, you know, like Andre 3000, certain rappers, you know, that don't, you know, that people consider the best, that their names just didn't get mentioned. You know what I mean? But it's always good. They always drop these lists every now and then just to shake things up and get this conversation going. You know what I mean? That's what, like I said, every individual going to have a different response to it. But my thing is, what I'm big on, I always say, okay, before we get into this, I tell everybody this, best and favorite are two different things, correct?
Yes.
Right. So,
right.
And best is the elite. Like, how do we, you know, it's like we have to decide what categories matter the most and decide who checks the most boxes. There are going to be boxes that some people don't check at all. But if you're checking the most boxes, then that's where you got, you know what I mean? You can't say this person who don't check, like, for example, Andre 3000, who a lot of people's favorite rapper or second favorite rapper, like globally. It's just facts. And he's one of the highest selling rappers of all time as well, by the way.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. But
I didn't know that.
Yeah. But technically, and this is controversial, but technically he released no albums. You know what I mean? Like, he was a part of a duo. So to say favorite rapper is almost like he has to be in a duo category, not in a rapper category.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because everything was contingent upon somebody else. The only exception would be the Love Below, but the Love Below was sold on the other side of Speaker Box.
Sure.
And they still were doing songs together. Yeah. So it's kind of hard to be like,
which one?
You know what I'm saying? You know, and trust me,
that was a great album.
Yeah, it was great. But I'm just saying, like,
I burned a hole through that fucking thing.
Oh my! I mean, I was huge on Outkast. I mean, that was my bridge to the South.
They were so fun.
Absolutely, yeah. But yeah, let's start at the bottom.
All right, so Nicki Minaj.
Nicki Minaj is definitely leading the charge in female rappers, and I know this society, you got to have a woman on there, or they're gonna be like, fuck this list. You know, they know what they're doing. But Nicki, I think she went through a hazing phase as of recently, but you cannot discount. That was part of the reason hazing phase. She influenced so many female, like, because we're in a female rapping surge right now.
Yo, yeah.
Like,
I kind of like some of these female rappers that are coming out though.
They're definitely harder than the male rappers coming out right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like I mean, like for real.
Yeah, they're hardcore. they're like taking over.
I fucking love it. There was Snow the Product.
Oh, I don't know. I'm not qualified. I need to leave.
Bro.
Snow the Product. Tell me
more.
Bro.
She's like Mexican.
Uh-huh.
I think it's Snow the Product.
Uh-huh.
Hard.
Snow the Product.
And dude, and I'm talking about concise.
Uh-huh.
She's actually dropping real shit.
Uh-huh.
Drawing parallels. Amazing.
Okay.
Amazing. You know what I'm saying?
I have to check her out.
Yeah. So anyway, so Nicki Minaj.
Nicki, I feel like she deserves to be on the list. Yes, she deserves. She's fine.
You think she needs to be higher than 10?
My personal feelings with Nicki Minaj is she makes too much pop music for me personally.
Okay.
It's like, especially her. She just released a song that's like, I think it's like breaking a bunch of records right now. But it's called Super Freak, which is like it's using the same sample as Super Freak by Rick James. And it's just like, okay, can you remix classics and make new songs? Yes, but the song isn't diverse enough to where like it's a different song. And she's playing into modern day tropes of just being like, just freaky, nasty. It's like nothing groundbreaking there. But I'll just say her skill as a rapper, I think to this day is still underrated on what she can do. Just versatility, like we talking about with Kendrick Lamar. Like she's a very versatile rapper. But I say with all that skill, she still chooses to be, he can squeeze me, he can tease me, he can like, it's just like, I would like her to just get in her bag.
I don't know, but
at least a rap.
I would just feel like Missy Elliott would be more than Nicki Minaj, in my opinion, man. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong, but she made a real impact. The problem is she doesn't really bust out any more new shit.
Yeah,
she was amazing, bro.
So you're right. But this is the thing I figured out about Missy. Because I tried to have that, and then my cousin actually woke me up to Missy's real thing. If you ever seen Missy freestyle.
Is it bad?
Missy, what she's good at is she's good at like affecting culture, making good dance tracks. You know what I mean? Like she's good at that. Even like making language and stuff like that, it's style. You know what I mean? Style. She's good at so many things. But she's
Snow the Product on Spotify.
I'll check it out.
When you get to listen to her, man.
Absolutely. But Missy, you talk about lyrical ability, it's on life support, bro. And if you check it out, that's what I'm saying. We kind of romanticize the past. But Missy, she will go from saying like, like she uses a lot of non-word words and like it won't make sense, but it's just kind of what she does. Like she'd be like, he wanna like I hit him with the hee hee. You wanna get with me in the d ah ha ha la la da 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 da.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
La caca da da da. You be like, wait, what?
Yeah, but she makes it work though, man.
But I'm like this. You talk about
she's having
top 10,
fun.
She's a great rapper. Definitely one of my favorites.
Yeah.
And influenced me growing up.
Maybe Nicki Minaj is ahead of her then.
Nicki Minaj, I have to give Nicki Minaj more credit in the sense of she can be ill. I think that's one of her things that women don't get a chance to do in hip hop.
What do you mean by ill?
Ill, like the Biggie, like I say about Biggie. Biggie's one of the illest, where he would say like just like that song Dead Wrong?
Yeah,
it's a bunch of stuff I don't even like saying because I don't like talking like that.
But he said like yeah. That's
a little. No, he said he said this weird. It's a weird line. He said
he can go dark, is what you mean?
Yeah, dark. Yeah, he like take the broomstick. And he said fuck this dude from the back, but Smalls don't get down like that.
Yeah. That's a good one. Eminem's in that song too.
Yeah, Eminem. Yeah, and he Eminem. He's an ill rapper. You got ill rappers. Nas, made Illmatic my favorite rapper. I kind of avoid the topic of Nas because like I'll go on all day. But
I love Nas too, man. It's just something about Nas doesn't really, I think, cut like the other rappers. He's great, but there's something about him where I think it's like almost every one of his tracks sound the same.
I highly disagree, but I'm not gonna go there. You have to be so specific.
He doesn't really switch up his style as much. Maybe I need to listen to more Nas, because if you listen to Eminem, the one thing I like about Eminem is Eminem will switch his fucking style. He will drag things out, like on the Trick song. Like, instead of going with the beat, he like, ba-da-da, be now, da-da-da, be now. So he'll use his voice as a downbeat. Yeah. And then it becomes a part of the freaking beat.
Absolutely.
And he's doing it by skipping a beat.
Yeah.
So he's like,
guess where he got that from?
Who?
It's funny that you brought that up as an example. He got it from Nas. He actually says it in an interview.
Oh, no shit.
He said there's things that Nas can do that I still haven't really figured out yet.
Damn.
Yeah. Bro, hip hop history, bro. But I understand. But I do understand.
Listen to more Nas. Then
I do understand though. I do believe that Eminem's a more versatile rapper than Nas, and that's another thing why you can't totally throw Eminem out of the hip hop conversation, because he actually opened up hip hop as a genre to a lot of dominant white Americans
that probably wasn't really listening to
it. Because this is where Eminem got in the game, and I promise I can go on Nas all day. That's what I say. I try to avoid. So there was an era, if you were alive, where there was Britney Spears was the biggest thing in music, period. And you had NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, was it 98 Degrees, and like literally all these type of artists. You know what I'm saying? And they were tearing up the charts. And then you had Eminem, who was anti that, who he was in there with these guys. You know what I mean? So it was like making sure that people, if you're listening to them, you're listening to him. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, where do you go? Now you're into hip hop.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And if you think about it, out of all those people I named, the only other person who survived was Justin Timberlake. Because after NSYNC, what did he do?
He started getting a rap album.
He went hip hop.
That's right. Yeah.
Which is the biggest genre. So you're not going to get into those. But there's a lot of those people, they were the gateway to that. Yeah, so that's why I don't throw them out of the conversation completely. Sure. But I understand people's apprehension with like, oh man, here come white people taking this shit over.
Yeah.
You know but back with Nas is like the prototypical rapper. You know what I mean? Where like a lot of people, I heard somebody say this recently, and I agree. If you talk about like old school hip hop, right? People like go to origins of hip hop, right? You don't want to go too far back if you're like young, because it's not gonna make sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's hard to listen to Curtis Blow after listening to, you know what I'm saying? Like you be like, what's so great? Like, real hip hop is Curtis Blow. No. And it's like, what's going on across the street? You be like, okay, y'all are crazy. You know what I'm saying? But Nas is a great middle ground in a sense of like, he was influenced by those guys, but he was saying ill stuff.
He was.
You know what I'm saying?
That's why his lyrics are just the best.
Greatest writer of all time, dog.
And he's prolific as fuck.
Yeah, and
his newest album's great.
His last 4 album run is great. But like I said, I'm super biased, bro. I literally don't. People get so mad at me because I don't really find. I like everything Nas has ever said, dog. I'm not gonna
Eminem. I love Eminem. I really respect Eminem. Eminem's up there on the list with me too, man. But at the same time, it's it's like. The problem with Eminem is, and I learn a lot from listening to hip hop and how I approach comedy, right? Namely brevity, making things short, right?
Okay,
painting pictures quickly,
okay,
right? That's hip hop.
Okay,
that's also stand up.
Okay,
right? Yeah. It's about how can you make this shit quick, concise, and get to the fucking punchline, right? Okay, that's where I draw parallels. Why I like listening to that, but also. Fuck! I forgot. I lost my train of thought because I was like going to another.
Just because you said the problem with Eminem, this is what I was gonna hit you with. Problem with Eminem is like he would make great songs. Okay, go ahead.
He'll only talk about the same shit. So on his albums, he's regurgitating the same shit. My mom, fucking Kim, right? And it's always the same regurgitated sick ass. My fucking problems. Woe is me. I'm having problems. Drugs and this, that, and the thing. Hold on a second.
I'm listening.
It kind of gets tiring. Right?
Okay.
My favorite Eminem moments is when he's guest starring on a track.
Okay.
And when he's guest starring on a track, he's talking about general shit. He's having fun with wordplay. He's having a good time. He's not talking about his mom. He's fucking juggling words and ideas and freestyling and having and some of the best fun bars. that is not my mom, my problems, drug problems, this, that, and the other thing. That's my biggest problem with him. But when I hear him on other tracks, like the D12 track that he had, where I love this stanza that he does, because I love poetry. I don't love poetry. I don't care about poetry. I like when you dissect and understand poetry and you transfer it into hip hop, right? So there's alliteration. Alliteration is making the front sounding letter sound the same, like fancy fruit. You know what I'm saying? Right. And then you have consonants, which is the very ending, rhyming the very ending of a word. Station, transportation, right? So you're just hitting that part, right?
My favorite example is Big Pun's Dead in the Middle with Little Italy. Little did he know we diddled the middleman who didn't do diddly.
Yeah, so like, bro, that's now that guy's playing with alliteration and assonance.
Yeah.
Assonance is the hardest. Assonance is rhyming the center part vowel of the word, and that's where Eminem makes his fucking money, and not a lot of people do that because it's harder to make those words rhyme. Does that make sense?
I'm telling you, he got that from Nas.
But hold on a second. And one of my favorite things that he does is he uses alliteration on a D12 track. The first sounding sounds,
of course,
to describe a switchblade that grows to a bigger switchblade. All right. And look how many S sounds are in here and how crafty it is, because now when you listen to him saying it, not only are you hearing him talk about a blade, every word sounds like a slice.
Yeah.
Right. So he goes, switchblade with the little switch to switch blades, switch from a 6 to a 16-inch blade, shit's like a samurai sword, a sensei. Yeah. Very fucking crafty, right?
Look, let's,
but he's being very crafty because he's not constrained about talking about his goddamn mom all the fucking time. And that's when he's having fun, and I think that's when he really shines. And what I learned from that is sometimes I think with our own writing on stand-up, we have to remember to break away from certain things and try fun. Just try fun. You don't have to be, this has to be written this way. Just try fun, and sometimes you'll unlock other shit.
Yeah, which, so I hear exactly what you're saying, and I think that as an artist, you go through different modes. Like, it's different between, like, obviously the writing creation process is separate from the distribution process, right? And then also, I just have to ask you, have you listened to Eminem's last, like, let's just say 3 albums? I
kind of fell off on Eminem for a while. Yeah. Eminem was my jam, kind of like the Air Jordans. Yeah. Once I got to the Jordan 5, I like checked out.
But that's the thing, and that's what you're actually describing. What you like about Eminem is what people don't like about him right now. Is because the last albums have been like lyrically heavy, but you could tell he's not really talking about anything because he don't have any real struggles in his life. He's like right now. The joking version is saying he's Parappa the rapper, but just saying he's just
Parappa the rapper.
That's like what I say. Like, when somebody
love that game.
He's just out rapping himself.
Yeah.
But how important is that to making a good song? You know what I'm saying? And I say, for me personally, I actually prefer the Eminem that was talking about his mom and his problems, because it was more songs like if I'm mellowing out, I want to get lost in your story. But I tell you, I can name a bunch of rappers who this was an issue for at some point, like even Lupe, where they're so conflicted with the state of rap right now that it hurts them. So they have to show where rap used to be, and they have to be the best rapper ever. One thing I don't really care about is how my favorite rapper feels about being the best rapper. I mean, you could say I'm dope or I'm killing it, or you could say I'm the best, but don't make a whole song about it. A whole song about how I'm the best.
Eminem kind of did that.
That's what he's doing now. Like, literally
with Rap God.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and it's cool, and I like it.
Which is very like when you listen to Rap God, it's impressive.
He made a song called.
It's impressive.
He made a song called Godzilla where he topped that. That was like 2 years ago. Literally, it's called.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's good. He broke the record. He broke his own record that he set. In Rap God, he broke his record. That's what I'm saying. So the Eminem that you're saying that you like so much, you probably should listen now, because he just dropped 2 out. He dropped was it Music to Be Murdered By?
I listened to that and I couldn't get into it for some reason.
Because it wasn't songs about killing his mama. Anyway,
I don't know about that, bro.
Because I'll tell you this. I like what was the song? It was a song on his compilation album. It was dang.
I mean, when Eminem was at the height of his of stardom, his guest star moments were one of the best. On Renegade with Jay-Z.
That song has its own documentary to it.
You can't tell me that fucking.
Okay, so the history behind that, very briefly, is that was not a guest song appearance. That was his song
No,
Like-
and then Jay-Z sort of like they collaborated with him, and then instead Eminem was like, all right, I'll give this beat to you, but then I want to rap in it.
No, that's not what happened.
No.
The song was completed already with Royce da 5'9", Bad Meets Evil. And if you listen to the original, the song makes way more sense. I
never heard of the original.
The original Renegade was, Royce da 5'9" and Eminem had a group called Bad Meets Evil.
Yeah.
And they would just write, like, pretty much, Royce was contained. He was bad, like, just like, I'm gonna say some dope stuff, but it's just gonna be more dope in nature. Eminem will say just some wild shit. And they work together well because it's like, oh, dope and wild. You know what I mean? Bad and evil. But Eminem, you don't listen to it for like, you listen to it for the crazy shit. You're not listening to it for like the lyrical ability, even though it's there.
I do. I listen to it for that.
Not everything. Trust me, if Eminem is talking about like, some weird shit, you be like, this is a good song, but you know what I mean? But anyway, look, I don't want to get lost in it. Look, so with this song, if you listen to the original, the song makes way more sense. You go, oh, that's why Eminem said that, because it's a callback to something Royce said. When Jay-Z says it, he just goes through his little story about selling dope in the hood and just his mentality or whatever, you know what I mean? And then Eminem was, Eminem's verses on that. But in nature, that's an Eminem song through and through.
That's why I think Jay-Z sucked on it. Because
He didn't
when
suck on it, but I know what you're saying.
He sucks on
He
it
didn't
because
suck on it. It was a good
all I
verse.
remember when I heard that song was like, yo, that is a beat that sounds like Eminem made it.
Yeah, it is. Definitely.
Right? Because and then it caters to him.
Absolutely.
And then when you put fucking Jay-Z on that beat, it just sounds like he's stumbling through the beat. And listen, when you listen to it, it's very, very lazy. It's very like Jay-Z. That was the one moment where you should have wrote it down. You know what I mean?
No, but this is
Because then you go to Eminem's verse and he's like fucking and just hitting it so good. And
But
just
you gotta understand,
bouncing around that beat the way it's supposed to be.
You have to understand
Jay-Z comes in there and is like, I'm over here. Hey, what's up? Oh no.
Their plights are different, especially at that time in their life and career. That's the reason why.
Whatever it is, he sucks on that track.
But I'm saying that there's people who would listen to something that Eminem said and say the opposite. They'd be like, yo, like at least he talking about something I can relate to. Eminem talking about some weird ass shit, bro.
But it's great.
A poet to some regular modern day Shakespeare. Jesus Christ, the King of the Lot. There'll be like some
That
hood.
was great.
There'll be some hood dudes like, bro, you lost me. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, I know, but still though,
Latter Day Saints here. Jesus
I loved
Christ.
it. He was very political.
But yeah, Jay-Z talking about hustling for his. That's what I'm saying. Like you gotta enjoy the spectrum of hip hop, bro. The fact that he talking about hustling from the brownstones and getting, you know what I mean? I understand. Same story.
It
but
doesn't match. It doesn't match.
To me, it did though. That's what I'm saying. It did. Because
I'm gonna listen to it again, and again, I'm gonna get nauseated when fucking Jay-Z's on.
You are more of a hustler in the place of your life right now, right?
What?
Like a hustler, like where you at in life? You're like turning this art into bread. That's what you're focused on.
So you're saying I'm at the most I've ever hustled is what you mean?
Yeah, as opposed to more in an emotional state. Like, when you're a teenager, you're more in an emotional state.
Sure.
Like you care what everybody says about you.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like that's Eminem. that's Eminem's version compared to Jay-Z at that time. Jay-Z was like, yo, like
I know where you're coming from, bro.
I'm building. You know what I mean?
I was terrible.
Let's hit the list. Let's hit the list
again.
Like a knock, make some way. Because we're talking about people high up on the list.
Okay, so we went Nicki Minaj. Number 9 is Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg.
And then 8 is Drake.
Okay, Snoop Dogg to me, he's the biggest rapper in the world. What I mean by that is
he's kind of like a Michael Jackson, where he's progressed past hip hop.
He's
his own thing
and
now,
I can't take this survey. I saw a survey recently that said The Rock is the most popular person on the planet. I personally disagree. I think it's Snoop Dogg. Damn. I think Snoop Dogg is the most popular person on this planet.
Damn, you think so?
I think once he dies, they're gonna be like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And there's I even studied how that happened. Like there's certain markers you have to hit in order to do that. Cause like as dope as Eminem is, as dope as Dr. Dre is, as dope as there are still people on this planet that would go, who? Eminem's confusion comes with the fact that he first told us his name was Slim Shady. So you be like, yo, wait, who? You know what I mean? He got different aliases, his voices changes, and also he's a recluse. You know what I'm saying? So though he's like supremely popular, there's still people who they couldn't pick him out of a lineup. Yeah. There's certain aspects of his character and personality that just be like, oh, this is just a modern day typical white guy. His look. Snoop Dogg, and I could do it with a bunch of other rappers. Snoop Dogg, his look is iconic, his voice is iconic. Like it's very specific. and like I said, and going into his actual rap ability, the G-Funk sound, I would say his voice is, though Dr. Dre is the architect of it, and trust me, I understand the history. I'm just gonna be a blanket observation. Yeah. Snoop's voice goes best with it. When you're listening to other people, when you listen to Nate Dogg, you're waiting for Snoop to come in.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. When you
that's
listen
fucking
to
funny,
Corrupt,
dude.
you know what I'm saying. When you listen to,
I think Snoop. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Snoop matched that sound very well.
Yeah, and he survived that death row era. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
And he's consistently making content.
Yeah, he's on TV with Martha Stewart, and he
diversified his brand so
he's
much.
Past that, man. He's everywhere.
Biggest court case after OJ was his murder. His murder trial. Him beating that. That's what helped propel him to such a level of popularity. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway.
So Drake on number 8. So you think Snoop Dogg should be higher on the list?
Negatives about Drake. I'm sorry, about
Snoop Dogg.
Snoop, though he is iconic in almost every facet, he's actually not the most versatile. You talk about same lyrical options.
That's exactly what I was probably gonna say.
Yeah, like you talk about somebody who's going to talk about mostly the same stuff.
Yeah.
No, that he's guilty of it more than most of the people on that list.
Yes, true.
You know what I mean? But it's fine because he does it so fucking well.
He does it so well, and not only that, Snoop Dogg's the type of person you love to see him.
Yes.
You're happy to see him.
Yeah, and also I'll say this as another negative about him, but it just is what it is. I would also almost argue that what he does is controversial opinions only, man. It's almost like barely rap.
Belly rap?
Barely rap.
Yeah.
It's like
yeah.
it's like just smooth.
It is
crooning.
It is.
It
is.
Like I walk in the room, I see stuff on the floor. What's that? Oh hell nah, bro. It's you know what I mean. But I'm not looking for him to win no battles.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for his lyrical dexterity. On this
we're
track.
just happy to see him.
Yeah,
we're just happy to hear him.
Yeah, so that's the negative. So
okay,
9, 10, like whatever. I'll be honest. If I'm naming my own favorite, he might not even make top 10, but he's definitely he deserves to be on any list that he's on.
Okay, so Drake number 8.
Drake, he's the number 1 rapper right now. You know what I mean? It's just like it's to me, if you don't have Drake on your list, then you're not honoring modern day hip hop. I think at one point, if this list was made in the 90s, if the list was made in the 2000s, if it was made in the 2000 anywhere up to 2015, I think this list will be wrong. And the reason why is because Drake at some point was considered alternative hip hop. You know what I'm saying? Like he's he's a singer. You know what I'm saying? He's a rapper just as much as he's a singer.
Yeah.
So, I think that should actually be against him. But in today's hip hop, how can you be alternative hip hop if you're the number 1 rapper? So you're the standard.
He captured the females with that. I'm alpha, but I got some beta energy. I like.
Oh my god, dog! You're absolutely right. And
he appeases that crowd all the time, and I don't mind it, but at the same time, it's like I see what you're doing, Drake.
Yeah, and it worked because he's the main one doing it. I mean, there's steps that like I play Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg gave way to a reason why Drake could exist. 50 Cent, Ja Rule, Nelly, these rappers who were sing-songy rappers. They don't want to admit it. They're gangster.
I kind of like Nelly though.
But Nelly
popped off. He was great.
But these niggas are singing. And it's fine.
I love.
They're not being the most lyrical dexterity. You know what I mean? They're not. They're.
Know what I mean?
I'm going down, baby. No
way better than mumble rap, motherfucker. I love that shit.
So that gave way to where Drake finally comes along and go. Sometimes we laugh, sometimes we cry. I guess you know now. But you can listen to a whole Drake song and be like, "Oh, this is the number 1 rap song." Like he ain't rap yet.
I know.
So I know. But he belongs on the list because it's gonna. It's like if you don't put Drake on the list, then new rappers can't. They're not rappers.
I'm not huge with Drake, especially with Lil Wayne too. I like Lil Wayne. I think he's like listen. There's things about Lil Wayne that I love, man, and I respect Lil Wayne. Mm-hmm. But when Lil Wayne came out, I couldn't stand I rapping like I'm taking a shit. I'm pinching a loaf. I'm like squeezing something out of my ass.
When you say first came out, give me a year, just in case.
I'm just, even when he came out with the Hot Boys and all that shit, you know what I'm saying? But then he started becoming his own thing. And then I was just like, at first with the Hot Boys, I was cool with it. But then all of a sudden I was just like, man, what's this fucking sound? I don't like, I just couldn't get into the
Lil
fucking.
Wayne was mumble rapping when he first came out.
But hold on a second. The point is that I didn't really like it that much. Even now and then he goes, here's my protege, someone who sounds just like me, Drake. You know what I mean? It's like, and then Drake's like, I was just like, get the fuck out of here with that shit.
Yeah, but you cannot. Is Lil Wayne next on the list, or I'm not sure?
He's next. He's
Okay.
he's at 7. So
I didn't want to blend it too much, but anyway, just to cap off Drake, I understand why he's on the list. Long as he's not 1, 2, or 3, I can live and not.
Okay, Lil Wayne 7.
Lil Wayne, man, it's almost sad where Lil Wayne landed in his overall career, because I put it like this: if anybody on that list besides Nas himself, Lil Wayne had the most potential. You know what I mean? What I mean by potential is when he hit, they was like, yo, they were scared. They was like, yo, he's gonna be the biggest rapper ever,
right?
But I think that he's like I'm making this weird comparison. He's like Jacob in the Bible, who became Israel and basically gave birth to all these nations.
You talking about Abraham? You mean?
No, well, Abraham is Jacob's father, but
who's Jacob?
Israel.
Israel.
Yeah, he changed it. Jacob became Israel when he got to know God.
Okay,
and
all right.
Father of nations. Basically, they split into different areas. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like Lil Wayne is like that because there's so much of, like, I would say 90% of rappers today are like Lil Wayne offspring, right? Like literally, you talk about the whole thing, the dreads, the tattoos, the hair, the
skateboarding.
Like you said, that's Lil Uzi Vert, that's Young Thug, that's Future, that's all of them. All of them got that. But
I can't.
So, but the thing is that Lil Wayne did that thing the best, and he diversified himself lyrically.
He did.
He completely sold himself to, I'm going to be a lyrical rapper. Out of all them Southern guys, he became the most lyrical.
Yes. So my point is that's why I said earlier, I respect Lil Wayne.
But you don't fuck with it?
By no means.
You have no Lil Wayne songs you like.
There's songs that I listen, I love. Don't get me wrong.
Name one song.
I can't remember them. But they're on my list. I don't remember them. Yo. They just play, and I let it happen. But you know how it is. It's all subjective. To me,
it's subjective.
That voice makes me feel like I gotta go take a shit. It's like I don't like it. I don't like it. It's like a baby crying. It's like, stop it.
Being as lyrically dominating as he's been, especially the 07 through 08. No, sorry, 07 through 08. That's funny. 06 through 08. Lil Wayne had his foot on the entire rap industry.
I know.
Like it was just there.
That was after the Hot Boys, after the fucking
definitely.
Once he broke away from that and became his own thing.
He became his own thing, and he because I'll be honest, I wasn't really a fan of Lil Wayne at all at the time. But when I was listening to how much he had grown,
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
that's why I respect him.
Yeah,
he grew, and then some songs I just have to put on my playlist. I'm like, dude, this is genius. This is just like great work. You know what I mean? So, but it's just not my thing.
And back to what this is like the theme. I think at some point he hit a wall because he kept having the same topics.
Sure.
And he even have a song where it's like pussy, money, weed.
Yeah.
And, but I say he was dominant all the way up until he introduced Drake. And when he introduced Drake. It was like Drake was the new model.
That's what I'm saying.
Lil Wayne, like he was.
That's what
Drake
I'm saying. It's almost the same sound.
Well, he was more. He was more versatile. He was like Kanye and Wayne in one person.
Sure.
So you didn't need, like, Wayne was the old model.
Sure.
Drake was the new model.
I know. Yeah, the 2.0.
Yeah.
It's just too bad that he awesome standing like, I was like, get the fuck out of here. I hate that shit, man.
Okay.
Fucking.
Come on, man.
All right. So number 6, after Lil Wayne, going up the list, is Notorious B.I.G.
Biggie. Man, positives. I mean, Biggie Smalls is the illest, man. It's like, making he's a lot, I gotta give P. Diddy credit, but just making hip hop palatable to be pop music. Biggie, where it was like an ill rapper being pop.
Yeah, it's kind of like a dark comedian that's able to polish it up to get on the Tonight Show also.
Right, exactly. Because you like the Biggie is in the genre of like the Wu-Tang Clan.
Sure.
But the Wu-Tang Clan separately got into it, because got Method Man, with dang, you're all I need, whatever. Yeah. He got in, but most of the Wu-Tang didn't get a chance to make it that far.
Sure.
Biggie consistently turned that ill shit into hip hop hits.
Yes.
With the help of Diddy.
Stuff that could play on the radios and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why.
And I think because he was, I just have to say it, man. I just think he's better than Tupac. And
lyrically.
and very much lyrically, man. He's craftier. He's that's why a lot of his stuff was able to like play really quick on the thing, because he was able to paint dark pictures, but he would do it in a very palatable, crafty way. You know what I mean?
But that's all, I don't want to take too much credit away from Diddy when we talk about Biggie, because I believe Biggie without Diddy would be
nothing.
No, would be a Wu-Tang member though. He would be like, you know, I should use other examples, but he would just be another rapper saying dope stuff in the hood.
So what you're saying is that like Tupac had more of a control over his rise to fame than Biggie?
Yeah, well, he was. I don't know. Obviously, I don't know the
meaning, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it's like
I don't know the backroom conversations, whatever. But I'll just say that, you know, Tupac. If we're going Biggie, Tupac. Tupac was more. Yeah, he was more of a force. You know what I mean? Overall, just to the hip hop structure. You know what I mean? Like what Snoop Dogg brought, Tupac brought that and then some. Like if he was alive, I think, you know, he would, you know, like Biggie was like you put stuff on, you put stuff on him. You know what I mean? Like you put the Coogee sweater on, you put the glasses on him. Tupac don't need that. You know what I'm saying? Tupac is just a dynamic character by himself.
Well, he was playing a character.
Well, let's not get too deep into that part.
But he was.
But all of them did. Every one of them. Every one of them.
But I think Tupac laid it on way more thick than all the other ones did.
I think what he was.
I think Biggie was more honest.
No, I think Tupac was honest. I think he was when he went out, he was that dude. I think that was the problem, is that he didn't let it go. Now you could say a character, but he wasn't the kid that people keep associating Tupac with and saying he wasn't that real hardcore gangster. I'm scared of fake gangsters. Say, well, I'm scared of real gangsters, because fake gangsters got something to prove, bro. You know what I'm saying? He went out like a gangster because he was doing gangster shit.
Yeah, but I mean, you know what I mean, bro.
I hear you. That's what I'm saying. But I just think that people use that as an example. Like he wasn't real. He wasn't real. It's like, well, how many guns do you need? How many, you know what I mean? How many hit 'em ups? How many you saying what you say and I'm doing what you saying?
I know, but I think
gangster,
I can't help but feel that everything that Tupac was doing was simply because he was trying to be wild to get the attention. Whereas like Biggie wasn't trying to be wild. Biggie was just like, yo, man, I'm just gonna drop some good hip hop. I'm just gonna fucking. But to me, I just felt like,
well, what's the rubric?
Huh?
You just saying being real? The rubric is real. Like what's actually being measured here? Like what's, you know what I mean?
You use that word again. I'm too dumb to understand what that word means.
What's being measured here?
I'm saying lyrical prowess and
so
talent.
Okay, lyrically
Biggie's and talent
better.
And not only
talent. What does that mean?
Well, to me, it's just like, so like,
because Tupac to me is a greater talent.
Well,
Biggie's a better lyricist.
Talent wise, of course, because you know, it seems like Tupac had more of a hand on a lot of different facets of his career. Not only that, he was an actor. You know, he was very intelligent. Don't get me wrong, but my point is that Tupac really became this character that he was playing, and then I think he pumped it up and took it too far. It's almost
I
like
agree with that.
It was almost like it was overacting, is what it was like. So like when you listen to Tupac, I literally was like, I loved it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I fucking love Tupac.
Right.
But I could feel that he was playing a more heightened, idealized version of himself to the point where he pushed that too far. Whereas Biggie,
real quick.
Biggie wasn't even trying to be like, I'm a real gangster.
Real quick though, too far meaning?
I mean, pushing the fucking war, the split between Biggie and Tupac.
Okay, but why?
Playing this persona.
But why though?
Pissing off a lot of fucking people and shit.
But why though?
But why what?
Why did he push the war?
I don't know. You tell me.
I mean, he got shot 5 times when he was entering the studio.
I know that.
So, okay, like this, you everybody has a dichotomy to who they are, correct?
Sure.
Right. I mean, you have days where you're like super angry, days you're super chill, right?
Sure.
Right.
There's days where I'm beside myself. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with me today, bro?
If you feel like you got shot up, you know, like by somebody, 5 bullets hit you. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a part of you that's going to feel anger towards these people, no matter who they are, right?
Who shot him? Who called the order?
Yeah, but I'm saying, right.
Do we know?
Right, but I'm saying like this, though. You're just talking about you as a personality. Like,
sure.
you have feelings, right?
Sure.
Do you feel like that would change how you approach situations?
You're 100% right.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like, to say that that's a character. You know what I mean? Like,
I think it was a character. I don't think
I feel like every rapper has, a persona they put on. And I can understand if you just didn't like Tupac's persona.
I loved it.
But I can't say.
I'm not saying I didn't like it.
I can't say it's fake though.
I just felt that Biggie was more genuine.
Okay, yes, which is fair.
That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And I felt that Tupac got caught up in the energy that he was rising with and exacerbating it. And it was very, very obvious. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, but it also could be like just a
because if I'm not mistaken, I think like even during that whole war, like Biggie wanted more part of that. Biggie was just like, look, man. What?
Yeah, I mean, he took a position of somebody who would technically be innocent. You know what I'm saying? I mean, by the war, let's preface it. It's the East Coast, West Coast war.
Yeah.
A lot of it was pushed and generated by Tupac.
That's what I'm saying.
And a lot of people think it was to sell records.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but also at the same time, it was rooted in like some real stuff.
And, I understand that.
And he also wanted, he just wanted to be dominant because he actually had people, he had East Coast people repping for him too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. I just don't vibe with the concept of Tupac and fakeness because he was very real. You know what I'm saying? And he died being the guy he was.
Yeah.
Now, he didn't. To me, fake is
did he have
if you flip
to?
it, but that's a different conversation. Fake is when fake is when you say I'm this guy, and when you're confronted with a situation, you turn into somebody else.
Like
that's fake. That's fake. If Tupac was that guy,
like
where
Rick
he's
Ross,
like, yeah, is he on the list?
No,
I don't even. Okay, cool.
I do like Rick Ross though.
Yeah, but is that?
I love Rick Ross. It's a
right.
guilty pleasure of mine.
But I just want to make it clear when it comes to Tupac and this word fake. You know what I'm saying? Like we watched this man from from teen to 25. A lot of that progression was natural. Like he was a child, then he was a man with money, and one of the highest.
He died at 25.
He died at 25, and one of the highest selling rappers
I
of
keep
all
forgetting
time.
that, bro.
Listen.
He died at 25.
Listen. One of the highest selling
right.
rappers of all time, dog.
He wasn't even an adult yet, bro.
Well, technically, but yeah, I know exactly what you're saying.
No, for real, I keep forgetting that, man.
Yeah,
25 is so young, dude.
Yeah.
How old was Biggie? Biggie was much older, I think.
26 or 27.
They were really?
Yeah. And I'll say this, I make jokes about who killed Tupac. I do. Like I put it on Suge Knight. I put it on Diddy. I ain't gonna lie. I do it for fun. But
who do you think did it?
Let's not talk about that. But
get ourselves shot.
I know who now. No, but at the end of the day, I feel like Biggie's death or more likely to me is retaliation more than Tupac's was. I feel like Biggie's was like maybe linked to Tupac.
Meaning that whoever shot Biggie thought that Tupac got shot because of Biggie.
Yeah. Well, I feel like Biggie. I'm not about to shot exactly what you're saying is good, but I'm saying that death, like Tupac's death, I don't know if it was some Biggie people. You know what I'm saying? It could have been, but Tupac pissed a lot of people off to where it could have been anybody.
Who got shot first?
Well, that's funny. It's like a hip hop riddle. Tupac got shot first, but he survived.
He was on first base.
Yeah, but he survived his first.
No. I'm talking about who got killed first.
Okay, yeah, Tupac died first.
Tupac died first.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying that.
So you're saying like the people that killed Biggie probably are linking what happened to Tupac as you did this motherfucker and you deserve this shit.
Yeah, exactly. But I can't.
I don't know why. I don't know why. But when Biggie got shot, I was like, yo, it's Diddy.
I mean, but it could. I mean, I've heard Diddy was part of both. And of course I heard Suge Knight was part of both. And you never know. Like even Suge Knight, who he be looking for a headline too. He'd be like, that was Diddy. Like
that's scary, bro.
Yeah. Wait, back to the wait, real quick. Okay, yeah. Biggie, pop hits, all that stuff. Negatives,
fat.
No. Like I said, I don't think his personality was strong enough, even though he had I think he was only in the beginning of his career. Junior Mafia was gonna be a big force.
Yeah.
Cut soon.
Yeah.
And two albums, man.
Only 2 albums.
Only 2.
Damn.
2 albums. So greatest of all time, 2 albums. Influence wise, great. And trust me, Jay-Z picked up the ball where Biggie dropped it and ran with it. But 2 albums. Now we can do Born Again if you want. If you want to do, You know, because he had Ready to Die, Life After Death, and then he had Born Again after he died. But, you know, I'm sorry, man. It's something about 2 albums, greatest rapper of all time. I'm sorry, it just don't feel right, bro. It just don't feel right.
So he don't even belong on that list.
I'm not gonna say that. I'm not. Everybody so far belong on the list, but I'm just saying that. That's what I'm saying. You talk about greatest of all time,
Right,
dog?
when I see him at number 6, I'm like, what?
You talk about greatest of all time, bro? Like, that's not fair. That means no matter what Jay-Z drops, no matter what Nas drop, no matter all these rappers, Tupac still dropping albums.
Maybe,
and Biggie can't drop an album from death, bro.
But maybe,
No.
but maybe a lot of it is like B.I.G. is just like, maybe that's also a part of like why he's on that list, because he made such an impact in such a short time with such a short amount of stuff. Does that make sense? Kind of like Patrice O'Neal.
Yes,
Patrice O'Neal is another great example. He's still, to this day, people are like one of the GOATs, but he died too early and only dropped, you know, like one special.
Absolutely agree 1,000%. Like I said, I named positives first, but I look at 2 albums as it's not right.
That knocks you down. That knocks you down a peg.
Yes.
So then, yeah, that's not when I see him at number 6. That makes a lot of sense. All right, at number 5, right at the middle, greatest rappers of all time, Eminem.
Eminem, you know, I say the easiest thing without, because we gave Eminem so much credit, so I'm not going to sit here and, you know, jerk him off anymore. Let's just say the highest selling rapper of all time has to be on the greatest of all time list at some point.
Do you think he needs to be higher on a list?
It's debatable. I mean, you talk about, to me, like I said originally, if you're going like this is a fight to the death, all things considered, it got to be Jay-Z and Eminem.
Really?
But me personally, yeah, I mean, I put it on there because I'm an avid listener, but I just feel like you know, there's definitely things that knock him down off that list if we're talking for real. I mean, he's had whole album that are duds.
Sure.
Like specifically
the one before Kamikaze. Kamikaze was a great comeback.
Revival's a dud. But you know, to be fair, as just a hip hop listener, I still can let it slide somewhat. You know, because I can listen to the music. I say unlistenable. Like Encore was like a lot. It was like, what the fuck is happening here?
Wasn't Encore just a bunch of his old songs?
No. Encore was it had Mosh on it, which was like, it was a big political message. It had Hush Little Baby, Don't You Cry, Everything Gonna Be All Right.
Which album was that?
That was
4?
That was the third. That was his 4th album. Yeah.
4th album.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Eminem Show. It was after Eminem Show. Eminem Show was great.
Eminem Show was amazing.
And I think he made it in a very short period of time.
I think
he made that album within 2 weeks.
For me, Eminem Show was him having fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun party album. The beats were fucking like, you know, it was great. I love that album.
And it was like Eminem. I think it came out right before, or maybe after, right before 8 Mile. So it was a good lead into like that energy, like the show. Eminem, because Eminem was different than just this rapper to rapper guy.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Even on 8 Mile, I loved his stuff when he was rapping about something other than his kids. He had to rap into this character's voice on this movie, and the fucking shit that came out of that was fucking great.
Yeah,
bro.
and those years was his years, like literally 2000, 2003, and then I think he passed the torch, kind of like we was talking about, like Drake, Eminem to Drake. Sorry, Lil Wayne to Drake. I think that's what kind of happened with Eminem to 50 Cent. Because he gave him that momentum, and then 50 Cent ran with it.
Yeah.
Of course, he didn't keep it up.
Yeah.
But I'll just say, like, a lot of that momentum.
Sure.
But Eminem came to a dead stop.
Yeah.
Who he was, his momentum.
Yeah.
In hip hop.
Yep.
It didn't
Encore kind of put it to a stop.
2004 to 2005, Eminem wasn't the guy anymore.
Nope.
And that was dry up until 2010, where he kind of mellowed out into like a good traditional rapper. But he never had the momentum like he had it during that 2001 to it was 99. I'll give it 2000. I'll say 2000 to 2004. Those years of Eminem,
unavoidable. Yeah. But huge impact, man. I think a lot of things that I respect with him, he's prolific, and to me, you know, I give someone a pass if they have duds, if they're fucking putting out shit all the time and they're putting a lot of fucking work. It's almost like there's a part of me that even though I didn't listen to those albums, there's a lot of respect that I have for him because I'm like, dude, you're doing this because you love it. You have to fucking do it. But then you can't not respect someone like that.
But I do have to play up his negatives because he's already like, he's already like tip top great. You know what I mean? Whatever, blah blah blah. Only thing I push back on when they talk about Eminem is, you know, the whole like, you know, like not a part of black culture. You know what I mean? Because it's just like if we're doing that, then we're tearing down the foundations of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? You know, Eminem is the exception, and just let it be that way. He's just the exception. Yeah. Because you so many white rappers or white influences in hip hop that came and got cut off. Sure. You know, it's just like, yo, he is the minority, and that's fine.
But I think that within hip hop, for someone to rise to the ranks that Eminem had as a white rapper, you had to be that fucking good.
But see, also
right.
But that's also
you had to be just undeniably just to a superstar to even get on that list.
To be a point, and then you have people where they're like, well, we're gonna push him because he's white.
That's what I'm saying.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's like the other end of that. Like first, it's hard to get in. Like it's like once you're the top white rapper, now you're getting by on being white.
Yeah.
So that's like the negative side.
But
he
kept proving that didn't have anything to do with it. He was just fucking good.
But there was a time. That's what I'm saying. Where Encore, like I said, I have to be honest with the fact that he was not only. I'm not talking just an album dud. He had songs on there like, what the fuck is this? This is a bad song, dude. Yeah. Like there's songs that Tupac never made a song that bad. Yeah. Biggie ain't never made a song that bad. We talking about top list of all time. Jay-Z ain't never made a song that bad. He got some bad songs. Nas ain't never made a song that bad. They say Nas make bad songs. But Eminem got a song where he's talking about like it's a song called Fack. And he's talking about putting a gerbil in his ass, bro. Come on, bro. That knocks you down, bro. That knocks you down, dog. I don't give a fuck. And then you have what's the song? He's like,
I forgot about Fact.
He got a song. He talk about I was born with a dick in my ass. Yeah, fucked in the head. My stepfather said that I sucked in bed. You know, talk about getting raped in your own song. Like, what are we talking? This ain't even hypothetical. Like conceptual. It's just a bad song. You know what I mean? You know what other song? He got a song talk about what's that song? This is like the song. I ain't got no legs or no brain. Nice to meet you. Hi, my name is. I forgot my name, bro.
I hate that song,
dog. If we just played 10 random songs of yours, these songs are chart-topping songs that are bigger than some of your favorite rapper songs. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I see the negatives, I see the positives, but with that being said, I still give Eminem his credit. You know, but at the same time, there are negatives. There are huge gaping negatives in his legacy.
Okay,
right,
next, Tupac Shakur, number 4.
Tupac, man, you know,
should be higher on the list, you think?
Look, so Tupac is one of the most, if not the most influential rapper of all time.
Yeah.
You know, he actually brings some sobriety to the art form. You know, reminds you that the root of it is poetry, more than it is gangster. You know what I'm saying? And it's still with him being one of the most gangster rappers of all time. Yeah, the first thing that comes to your mind when you think of Tupac in hip hop is poetry. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? He brings that, and also the his jail stint. He got greater in jail. And now, to me, when a rapper goes to jail, it's almost hack for them to come out with an album. Right. Like, he went multi-platinum in prison. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But not only that, as an actor, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, he just, you know, he's dynamic. Like, I actually appreciate real good acting. Sure. And I feel like, fuck. Like, I'm like, fuck. Like, I look at some Tupac stuff like, damn, I've never even felt, I never got that good. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was very talented. Yeah, very multifaceted.
Yeah, and you know, when people do the whole Biggie Tupac thing, which is fair. I mean, that's just how it goes. I mean, even that concept was curated by Tupac. You talk about greatness effect on hip hop. If Tupac didn't beef with Biggie openly, let's just say if he do what people do nowadays, is blackball him. You know what I mean? But he actively did that, so now forever these two names are tied together. That's part of Tupac's genius and legacy. He elevated this dude that he hated. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Also, you know, the tie in the, you know, like there's some things that I consider kind of feminine, but now it's like accepted in gangsta. Like tying, like that's like a mother thing to do. I know. Like I gotta wash these dishes. You tired of doing? I mean, the that's rag. So funny. Forward. You know yeah. But he did that. He brought the style, the open. Yeah. You know, only him and Stone Cold Steve Austin could wear a leather vest. With no shirt underneath.
He was kind of like a black rapper that also mixed kind of like Vato dressing and like country a little bit. You know?
And also talking about the fakeness of him, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of that comes from the fact that he's from Baltimore originally.
Yeah.
Then I think he moved to New York.
That's right.
And then he moved to Oakland.
Yeah. And then he was on Digital Underground.
Right. And he started off. He went to performing arts school. I went to performing arts school.
Right.
And he was a dancer. He got into hip hop through dancing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. But
that's what I'm saying. So like when I saw that fucking shit that he was doing, I'm like, come on, bro.
But that's a
little much.
But when
I loved it.
When you are the epitome of West Coast, when you're the epitome of West Coast hip hop, he gave more than he took. You know what I'm saying? And also getting into a game, no matter what you're trying to do, a lot of it's getting in.
Yeah.
We're knocking on doors and we can't even get into a lot of these places.
Sure.
Yo, if you are talented at dancing and somebody offers you a dance job, dancing is part of hip hop.
Yeah.
Digital Underground was one of the biggest groups at the time. That's true. And he was dancing for them. And he was so good at the dancing. Yeah. They was like, yo, just like Kanye got in through making beats. Yeah. They was like, let's hear your raps. And finally, bro, you keep rapping so much. You say you're a good rapper. Let's hear you rap. That's how Tupac was when it comes to dancing. Met him. He was like, yo, like let me do me. Yeah. I was all right. And he was able to do, because Digital Underground was very like, you know, what we would consider today pop. Sure. Tupac did the pop stuff. Sure. Then the moment he got a chance to be himself. Yep. He busted through the gate. Yep. So that's why it's hard to look at it as fake, because what we have to go through as artists, where if they say you got to do a clean show, you can't be like, nah, man, my truth is, you want to make bread, bro. Yeah, make bread. You know what I'm saying? But then when you get a chance to be yourself, a lot of people, when you give people a chance to be themselves, you realize ain't nothing there. They just start doing impersonations of shit we already seen. Yeah. So you get a chance to bust through, and then you affect the entire culture. I cannot call it fake. And he died being himself. But this is the thing too, I understand. They said if you ask 7 people about who Tupac was, they said you're gonna get 7 different answers. And the reason why is because, you know, he also held this coalition bringing the Bloods and the Crips together, and he was very sincere. He was very topics that we are more prominent about today that they weren't really talking about back then, like the true plight of the black man elevating and stuff in America. He was on the forefront of that. When other rappers, they weren't talking about, they were talking about selling drugs. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about being poor and all that stuff. Yo, even one of his most famous lines is one of the weirdest ones ever. Like, even as a crack fiend, mama, you always was my black queen, mama.
That's a good song too.
Think about what he's saying with that little line, man. Right. Like, he's saying at your very worst,
you were still my queen.
Black queen.
You were my mother.
What do we say? What do people say?
Beautiful.
They be passing that like, oh, how you doing, my queen? We have to elevate the black woman. Dog, he was doing it then. So I look, I hear people, yo, Biggie way more lyrical. I say, if you talk about out of all the categories, the boxes to check, who checks the most?
You're probably right.
Tupac is going to check way more boxes than Biggie. Yeah. So that's what I'm talking about.
How many albums did he drop after he died? God damn.
He actually didn't drop as many as I like to play like he did, but okay, you got Better Days. Well, okay, Machiavelli.
How many albums?
Well, I'm about to count them. Machiavelli. That was dropped after he died. That's the first album. Right. Then you had Better Days, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Then you had Loyal to the Game.
That's fucking crazy.
I know I'm missing something. If you want to count the soundtrack album, I'm missing one, I think. But I think he had 4 to 5 albums after.
What the fuck?
Postpartum. Yeah.
Do you think like he planned that? Like he knew he was going to probably die and he wanted to?
I have to say, in the concept of what we consider planning, that him and Biggie definitely prepared for their death. Definitely.
How did Biggie do it?
His first album was called Ready to Die. His second album was called Life After Death. And his third album was called Born Again. What do you mean? How do you do that? his first album was called Ready to Die.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
and Tupac, he made so many songs where he was referencing after his death, and you know, he even made songs from the concept, the perspective of I'm in heaven, I'm chilling.
I know,
and it's
crazy?
Creepy, bro. It's creepy.
It's crazy.
Yeah, even I watched
crazy.
Tupac Resurrection. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Tupac Resurrection. It came out like, I think it was like old
documentary.
Yeah, documentary. 0405, like the majority, the whole thing, like he's speaking that, like they have a cloud, like a music video intro, and he's talking like in real time, like 96 or whatever, and they're playing the audio like out of context, obviously, but in this new context, it sounds like he's talking right now about it, and it was like so accurate, it's creepy, you know what I'm saying? But that's what this dude is so prolific, you know what I'm saying? So I understand the accolades. Also, shout out to my cousin Chris. Chris, growing up, his nickname was Bishop. He was
from Juice.
Yeah, he was Bishop.
Which is a great movie.
Yo, and he was definitely one of the people that was like, oh, he's still alive. He's still alive, man. Oh, this is he's in Cuba right now.
With Hitler.
Yeah, man.
Okay. So Tupac Shakur, that was a very good explanation. Thank you. Topping Tupac Shakur at number 3 is Nas.
Nas, man, so look, all right. Just because the way you put it like that, I have to put it like this too. Okay. Nas, a very controversial name, not on the list, but number 3 for most people. I'll tell you straight up. Nas is my favorite rapper of all time. Like just it's not going to change.
Okay.
A lot of my personality, the way I think, a lot of that was based on Nas. J. Cole said if Tupac was Jesus, Nas wrote the Bible. Which I understand that in a sense of like, yo, like you just talk about like the top of prolific. Tupac, okay, think about Tupac, right? Tupac, though he did a lot of things that are very influential, when I say prototypical, either it means you created or you're the standard for something. Nas was a standard for a lot of things. Like Tupac, and you got to look at interviews because a lot of people, when I say things, go, no way. Tupac said he learned how to be gangster from Ice Cube. So Ice Cube is the originator of that. The reason I'm saying that, the preference, I want to say, Nas, a lot of things that Tupac did, he got from Nas, and he admitted, he said in his anger, and they'll tell you, it wasn't like Tupac definitely was out first, and Tupac, he was doing his thing, definitely a bigger artist, but Nas,
he was out first.
Yeah, Tupac was out first.
Right.
But Nas, when he came on the scene, it was like, it's kind of like if a new comic came out right now, and yo, you got respect for me, I got respect for you. But if a new comic come out and he's like only been doing it a year, and it's like, oh man, he created this, he did that, blah blah. You gonna feel a certain way, like, dog, I've been doing it this whole time. What do you mean? You know what I'm saying? But like, so
Nas came in green, but exploded quick.
The word prolific is attributed to Nas.
Yeah.
In hip hop.
Yeah.
And the reason why he wrote the song Gave You Power, which was from the perspective of a gun, right? Word is Tupac heard that song and he was fucking pissed. He was like, what the fuck? He made me and my girlfriend. It was about him. Tupac wrote that because he heard Nas song and it was like the way the hood was responding to it. Tupac just couldn't believe it.
Why? He didn't like the song?
He loved the song, actually, if you think about it. Like,
okay.
He loved it. It just was the fact that when you see somebody have such a huge effect on the hood,
yeah,
you want that. You like, yo, that was me. It's like you was last week, this dude's this week.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it's kind of like when I say, like, I see other comedians that are coming up in our same class and they hit a next level. Yeah. It's like, dude, I got to go back to the lab, man. I got to write now. I got to write.
Yeah. And that's what Tupac, that's what Nas made Tupac do. But I'm just using that. I like the transition. That's why I'm saying that.
Sure.
But yeah, Gave You Power. Let's start with Illmatic. I don't want to dwell on it too much because I like to say things that people don't hear often as opposed to what people hear often. But Illmatic, well, look, let's go Live at the Barbecue. Live at the Barbecue. Nas was with oh my gosh, Smashing Adams. What's the name of the group? I can't think of the name of the group right now. Main Source.
Okay. Which
was like a digital underground in the sense of they were like a pop hip hop group.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like hip hop overall, but pop for the time.
Sure.
And Nas was on Live at the Barbecue and he just broke out with his rhyme, which was just very ill for the time.
Yeah.
It's just like the way he's coming. They're like, I don't want to disrespect anybody when I say this, but just happy go lucky, like saying stuff like, I rock the party. You know how we do, blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? And then Nas came out, Streets Disciple, my rap's a trifle. I shoot slugs from my brain just like a rifle. Now people are like, wait, what?
That's amazing.
Slugs from your brain like a rifle. What the? Yo. And then when he said, this is the line that people love the most from that is, he said, when I was 12, I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. Nasty Nas is a rebel to America, police murderer. I'm causing hysteria, swimming in women like a lifeguard. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that coming at it like that. And mind you, and this is to you, in this one verse that he dropped that got him all his original acclaim that made him drop the first super rap album, the Super album. I'll tell you what a super album is in a second. He switches his style up in the verse. So to say Nas doesn't switch his style up is blasphemy. You know, did you hear that? Like,
yes.
Literally, he says, Streets Disciple, my rounds of trifle, I should slugs from brains like a rifle. I know the whole thing. Stampede the stage, I leave the microphone split, a stiff. Play Mr. Tuffy while I'm on some pretty tone shit. Verbal assassin, my architect. Pleases when I was 12. I went to hell for snuffing Jesus. Nasty Nas is a rebel to America. Police murderer. I'm causing hysteria. Stop. Swimming in women like a lifeguard. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like yo, he stopped and went. Brrrah.
Yeah.
And then people like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
So that was such a breath of fresh air. Just like a singer, like, you know, people go, oh, I can sing, and then fucking Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
Like, what are you saying? Like,
Yeah.
you ain't hitting these Mariah Carey high notes. So
yeah.
stop saying you're a
Yeah.
singer until a real singer into the room.
Yeah.
That's how it was when Nas was rapping with
Yeah.
these guys. So
Yeah.
he came in the game. He made everybody go, I gotta switch my style up. That's why you have Jay-Z rapping like the Foosh niggas.
That's why you got Eminem changing his style up in the fucking shit too. Yeah, he does it all the time.
Eminem, this is an unknown fact about like hip hop, right? Eminem class later. You know what I'm saying? You talk about Nas, you go 91 to 94.
I think Nas is Eminem's number one, if I'm not mistaken.
No, that's not. Actually, Redman is not as Eminem's number one.
Oh, really?
Redman, super underrated. Definitely, he's a prototypical. I was gonna say comedian, rapper as well. There's a lot of influence that Redman's had over the entire game that he doesn't get credit for. Like I said, and same with Nas. But the thing is, I have to say, like, people like, for example, Jay-Z. Jay-Z gets a lot of credit and acclaim, but it's not like a lot of things that he originated. Like Kanye, he originated a lot of things in hip hop. You know, like it's a lot of things like
paradigm shifts.
Yeah, exactly. Like Nas, you know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Tupac, though he mastered a lot of these things, can't think of the thing that he created. You know what I mean? Or he started.
That was that changed or like really like revamped hip hop.
Right, exactly.
Kind of like how Stanley Kubrick created the Steadicam.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Kubrick,
I just saw something about that. So
he's the one who created the Steadicam, and if it wasn't for his genius in understanding how to create that, we wouldn't have glide cams, you know, or that we wouldn't have it that early.
Right. So let's update. Let's move forward through Nas because I don't want to get. I tried to get trapped on.
Number 2 is Kendrick Lamar.
Wait. No. I want to keep going. Nas.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know if we go. What's our time limit? Or you?
No, I'm fucking chilling, bro.
So okay,
I'm chilling. This is probably gonna be one of the longest podcasts in a while.
I'm sorry,
and I don't mind because this is like, I don't know why. When you talk about hip hop, I'm listening, bro. Let's go.
All right. So Nas, like I said, I can literally do this all day. Nas, I could do fucking 5 hours of Nas by myself. But look, okay, Nas. Okay, let's jump into Illmatic because Live at the Barbecue.
Yeah.
Live at the Barbecue got him to like, okay, this guy is so fucking dope. Was just like if a comic came out the gate and people were immediately like, who's the next one? You don't go, oh man, let's book him on this little show. We go, oh, let's book him at this open mic. You go, when's the special? So Nas, they go, when's the special? So Illmatic was the first, with now we consider a modern day album, but it was the first super rap album in a sense of back in the day, the origins of rap was you had a DJ and the MC. The MC would hype up the DJ.
Yeah, the old school way.
Right.
Eric B. and Rakim.
So when rappers came in the game, they would come in as a duo.
Right.
Like, you know,
you
like
got the MC and you got the DJ.
Yeah, and the DJ, for the most part, would still get like talent credit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like was it DJ Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince? You know what I'm saying? Like that was the name of the group.
But they should, because the DJs were very, very involved, man.
Yeah, but I'm saying like Eric B. Rakim. You know what I mean? You know, that's kind of right. But when Nas, you know, that was the moment where they were like, okay, we need all the DJs on this dude. I mean, we need everybody to work with this guy, and that's why you get you got Pete Rock, Q-Tip, DJ Premier. Man, who am I missing? Who am I missing? Gosh, I hate this. Whatever. I'm missing like 2 more people. But that was the first one. They was like, let's get multiple people to produce this. Now this is a common occurrence. It's kind of like when like highway, like, you know, you say highways and byways. Like highways, like when they go on top of each other, like a highway before, or expressway or freeway was just like a straight line that ran from city to city. But when they started building on top of each other, it was like, oh, this is fancy. So they call those super highways. Or they say highways and byways and all that stuff. But now it's just a highway. You don't go, oh, I'm going on a super highway.
Right.
You sound crazy.
So you're saying what is a super album?
It's an album that has one main rapper but multiple producers. Back in the day, you had one producer and that was your sound.
Oh, he was the first one to do that?
First one to do.
He was the first where he was like, I'm going to get a beat from this guy. I'm going to have this guy produce this track. But he was the first?
Well, okay, let me not be clear. Let me be clear because all my information comes from another source. I'm not sure if he was the first, but he was the biggest for the time where they were like, yo, we need to do this. This needs to happen.
So apparently he probably did it to where everyone's like, yo, this needs to be repeatable.
This is the kid you got to work with. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of rappers or just people in the industry envied at the time. Nas was the golden child. You know what I'm saying? You know, and he had to deliver. You know what I mean? So that's why Illmatic to this day is considered, you know, like when people talk about greatest albums.
He paints great fucking very intricate pictures, man. He's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
He's so smart. He's so like he's on this Rick Ross track.
Which one?
I forget, man, but he talks about the plight of America through the eyes of how the news manipulates you. And then he talks about how the black community takes that and says the reason why is because I come from a hard background, and then he goes, poor excuse. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
It's so fucking good. And
I wish I knew the track, bro. Because I know the lines. If you could say the track, I can repeat it.
Hold on, I know I have it here on this list. Hold on, it's so good, dude. It's
they got a few songs together. That's why it's hard. Dang,
is it no, not Freemason, no,
that's Jay-Z.
No, hold on, it's Rich as Gangster.
No, they got too many songs. They got Usual Suspects.
No.
They got Triple Beam Dreams and Pat Riley, My Neighbor.
It's triple. That's it. Triple Beam Dreams.
Dang.
Beams. That's the one.
I got
triple.
I gotta hear it again.
Triple Beam Dreams.
Yeah. Now Pat Riley, My Neighbor. Yeah, he came in and like it was a story. Right, exactly. And he proved
it was so good, man.
Yeah. That's all. Yeah.
Probably get demonetized for this, but fuck it.
Well, no. It's yeah. Dang, it's been a while. That came out like 2011. Sounds rationalized in the bastardized nation. The cop Aryan. Listen to that language though. It's hard to cancel people if you don't know what they're saying. But then you run it back and you go, whoa.
He's basically painting a picture about coming up as a little drug dealer, not knowing how everything is built.
Yo, listen what he said. He said the cop Aryan.
Yeah.
that's such cold, bro.
About the white people and shit. It's just so cool, man. It's just, if you listen to that track, it really paints a beginning and end of some broken kid in a broken society and using that as an excuse to just go ahead and be a drug dealer and fuck over his own people.
Right.
So the whole thing's got such a good message, right?
Yes, yeah.
Because even in the thing, he's talking about like, yeah, I do it, but then I blame the fucking place that I come from, and then he's like, poor excuse.
Yeah, poor excuse.
You know what I'm saying? It's just so fucking, it's so smart. And it's like, and then at the same time, he even talks about how like the news tries to paint us as, you know, being sex crazed and violent. And he's like, fuck that. No, we're survivors. So at the same time, he gives credit to where the black people had to struggle, right?
Yeah.
Yet at the same time, he's like, don't use that as an excuse.
Yeah.
Genius.
It actually reminded me of another line he did on the song. I'm not doing it justice because it's stuff that comes before it, but I just remember he goes, oh man, I'm trying to tell you, bro. I fan out on Nas so much. It's like, literally, I'm thinking of all these.
You got me want to listen to more Nas right now, bro.
I love the fact that he's getting credit now. But dang, how'd it go?
His last album he dropped blew me away.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you,
he like went back. It's like we went back to early 2000s with this last one, man.
Well, you know what I say about Nas. Okay, I'm gonna go out of order, but I wanted to like walk it up, but let's just go to now, especially with the King's Disease run, right? The King's Disease run includes Magic. So yeah, King's Disease 1, 2, Magic, and King's Disease 3. You know what I'm saying? The thing about this run, I always go, because you know the topic of is Nas relevant came up recently. First of all, if that topic is up for debate, You know what I mean? Because nobody's doing that about Coolio. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you just don't do that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I'm just using him as an example. R.I.P. He just passed recently. But I'm saying that there's so many rappers that, it's not debatable on whether they're relevant. If you're going, is this guy relevant? Yo, you're hitting the algorithm, dog.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But Nas, I've been a Nas fan so long that's always been a marketing thing for Nas on if he was relevant. Dog, I got a Nas. I would say, well, of course, I was a kid. Like I would say, in '98, I feel like I was introduced to Nas. I was listening to DMX and Jay-Z and Lauryn Hill at the time, right?
Yeah.
And also I was a kid.
Sure.
As a child, so I'm not even analyzing everything the way I would to the best of its ability.
Sure.
My cousin introduced me to Nas, changed my life, dog. Straight up, changed my life. I was in the game. But even though I'm still young, in high school, 13, 14, 15, whatever, right? I'm listening to Nas religiously. And my friends are going like, this is Ludacris, Nelly, 50. And they're like, what are you listening to that old shit for, bro? Like, then they were debating Nas's relevancy.
That's
right?
funny.
But listen to the rappers I just named. Those rappers, as hot as they were, if they drop a record right now, that record would get clowned, bro.
You're right.
Ludacris, love him to death. Think he's dope as fuck, bro.
Right.
If he drop a record, they'd be like, oh, my God. Ludacris trying again.
That's true.
Ludacris, 50 Cent, they'd be like, oh, what, you going to sing on the hook?
Yeah.
Like,
But
whatever.
somebody like Nas or Eminem, it's kind of like...
Bro, you got to stop. The world stops. People go, let me listen to it. What the fuck is he
You know
talking
who
about?
also had a really long run, who's kind of fucking pumped the brakes on it, and you have to also give us credit to, is LL Cool J. Cool J had a real long run, man. For a long time, he was still dropping fucking hits, even into his old man era, bro.
Yeah. You know who I give more credit to than LL Cool J? Because I think he fully succumbed to the idea of retirement and being, even though I know he probably wants to drop. I think when Jay-Z became president, that's what killed his motivation to make music. Or drop music, at least.
Right.
And I actually know a little bit too much about that topic. But the person who I give a little more credit to is Busta Rhymes. Busta Rhymes is somebody who came from that era. Because Busta Rhymes has been doing it even before Jay-Z.
Right.
And he just dropped something recently. So when I think about that, I'm like, yo, Busta Rhymes is probably more underrated in that area. I feel like LL Cool J, though he's old and still got it, you know what I mean, physically.
Sure.
Dog, they know LL get down. First Def Jam rapper. First, like he gets a lot of love.
The shit, man.
Yeah. Also Queens. Both LL and Nas are from Queens.
Yeah.
Queensbridge. I give credit all day. I'm gonna walk more through Nas and then I'm gonna leave it alone because I could do Nas.
Let's try to wrap this up because we got Kendrick Lamar and Jay-Z coming up.
Okay. So yeah, Nas. The fact that he's been able to hold it down this whole time. Lyrically, I'd still say untouchable if you really pay attention. People might have took his style and went other places with it. I think you have to go back to Nas in order to get new inspiration. Sure. If you ain't going back to Nas, like you gonna lose it because you know what I mean. And you don't get artists like Kanye, Eminem, Lupe Fiasco. You know what I mean without Nas. You know what I'm saying. And Eminem, by the way, is older than Nas. A lot of people don't know that. Though he was in this newer generation.
He came out later, right?
He came out later. He's older than Nas.
That's crazy.
He's older than Nas.
That's crazy.
And if you listen to Infinite, Eminem's first album that nobody counts, it sounds like Nas.
Interesting.
Like, so, just showing you how it levels out or whatever. And you can't, Nas is somebody who, you talk about rappers with gimmicks. A lot of thing I've been praising, the one thing I've been praising about a lot of the rappers we've been naming is their gimmick. You know what I'm saying? Nicki Minaj's gimmick.
Tupac had a gimmick.
Tupac's gimmick. Biggie's gimmick.
Sure. Rick Ross has a gimmick.
Snoop Dogg's gimmick. Did we say already? From Lil Wayne to Drake, all that stuff. Nas, it was almost, I'm not going to say completely, but almost virtually gimmickless.
That's the thing. I think that's what you probably just nailed what I think. I think you nailed why I think maybe he doesn't rise to the top or the forefront of people's mind when they think of hip hop like that because he didn't have a gimmick. I mean, Eminem came out with 3 different personalities in the first 3 albums.
Yeah. And, he wasn't the only one. A lot of other rappers did that as well, and that's a gimmick that trope
that's
that works.
Interesting. That might be why it's like
But at the same time, that approach that still shows that amongst the darkness, this light in this tunnel shines because you're being real. You talk about being real?
Yeah.
Nas is somebody he's
real realist, bro.
Because he don't even he's lost business opportunities because he wouldn't be more vocal with his personality.
Sure.
Like he just couldn't sell a reality show.
Sure.
He's a rapper who can't retire and go do Love and Hip Hop.
I know, you're right.
You know, it's because he's like just that same dude. But when it comes to that pen and pad, he's almost unbeatable. And don't take it from me. Ask Eminem. Eminem will tell you, man. You know what I'm saying? Like he'll say like, yo, like I'm trying to tell you, he did an interview where he said, I think on halftime. He said there was he said it's stuff that in hip hop he still can't figure out. It was the way Nas did that rhyme scheme. He said it's crazy because he said he skips over like everything in the middle rhymed, but also the only thing that mattered was the last of each stanza.
That's fucking
and
crazy.
He was like, yo, like he said, I remember the first time I heard that and I was like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? So yo, anyway, like I said, I literally can go Nas all day, but at the end of the day, the beginning of Nas all the way up until now, dog, prolific.
Kendrick Lamar beats Nas at number 2 on this list. That seems kind of a little weird, don't you think? I don't know. Maybe
Kendrick Lamar
has he been around long enough to even be on this list?
Yeah, he's been around. I mean, I say, you know, let's just give Kendrick Lamar 2011 to now, which is that's fine. That's you know that if this was the 90s, that he'd be considered an old school rapper. So that's just the way it works. You know what I mean? So yeah, he belongs. This is my problem with Kendrick right now. My problem with people who like Kendrick right now. Kendrick Lamar has become the safe answer as far as what you consider real hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But
because I think he's a breath of fresh air when he came out. I remember at the time when he came out, it was like people were like, can we get something that really bangs and somebody who's like prolific and like can be a good lyricist? And then when he came out, it was like, yo, this was a big breath of fresh air. I became a fan right away because we needed him at that time.
Yeah,
I think people started holding on to that because it was such a paradigm shift when he came out.
Absolutely, but I also say in the same instance, like if you're saying Kendrick Lamar now, this guy who didn't drop a record for 5 years, I almost feel like you're pump faking.
He hasn't dropped an album in 5 years?
He dropped the album last year, but that was the first time in 5 years.
Damn.
And we criticized Eminem for waiting from 2005, I think 2004 to 2009 he didn't drop anything. So that's the same time period. But Kendrick Lamar gets a pass. They called him the greatest rapper of all time in that whole stint. You know what I mean? Like, you know, like, bro, I mean, and by the way, Nas dropped hella albums, Kanye dropped albums, Drake dropped albums. You know what I mean? Like, so Kendrick, and I give him his respect, but I think it's lazy to say Kendrick is the greatest rapper of all time. I think that you're not trying, you're not thinking, you're not analyzing.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're just saying this is a safe answer. People are going to think I'm deep.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, bro.
Yeah, that's funny.
I listen to hip hop, bro. And Kendrick is great.
He's the lazy answer. That's funny.
Yeah, he's a
I love Kendrick though, by the way.
He's the closest thing as far as like lyrical dexterity that you get to Eminem because like, yeah, you listen to 5 Kendrick Lamar albums or Kendrick Lamar songs, you're going to different voices.
Yeah.
Like Eminem, different voices.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like which I'll say with like Nas, you're going to get virtually the same voice.
Sure, that's exactly it, right?
He does experiment, but if you listen to Nas on the surface level, you're not going to hear that experimentation.
I know what you mean, yeah.
Yeah, but I can name songs where I'm like, you're like, whoa, he did that? You know what I'm saying? But with Kendrick, that's the thing about him. But and also,
you don't think he belongs this high on the list?
No. Yeah. Because I say as far as albums go, right? Do you think
he even makes this list?
He makes the list.
He should have made the list.
He makes the list for sure. And there's times where, you know, I go through Kendrick phases where I don't want to hear nothing but Kendrick.
I love Kendrick, man. I'm about to fucking bump some more Kendrick.
Yeah,
man.
I listen to Kendrick, but you know, like I said, it's just become this. It's so safe. It's like when people go, oh, you know, it's like the voting Democrat. You know what I mean? Now, like, you know, like not saying you have to, you know, vote, like there's anything wrong with voting Democrat, but, you know, I think we live in a super issues based time period where nuance is key. Yeah. Nuance is way more important than having blanket statements.
Amen. That's why I don't like all cops are bad.
Yeah.
I hate the whole all cops because that's this, you're now just doing a blanket statement. It's more nuanced.
Yeah. So,
but that thing, those things are gone now.
Yeah. So Kendrick is like, yo, so what's his last album about? How did that compare to modern day hip hop? Is there somebody who's out rapping Kendrick today? And another thing I say, another knock on Kendrick, and I'm only knocking him because once again, it's so easy to say Kendrick is the greatest and say give all these references on why he's the greatest. But let's focus on his not so great aspects because I want controversial opinions only. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. Kendrick Lamar ain't never won a battle, bro. All these battles, like Drake got more bodies than Kendrick.
Like actual freestyle battles?
Not freestyle battles.
Like
actual
battles.
Like you're
Has he been in a few battles?
Technically, he hasn't been in any. And trust me, prove me wrong if he has. What it is that people are scared of him. I'll admit that. So when there's a back and forth, you know, it stays on the subliminal realm. You know what I mean? And it just never leaves there. I would say the biggest one would be potentially the one with him and Big Sean, where Big Sean had of course, when they dropped the Control verse, right? You know, everybody in the game got released something back, right? But it was a Big Sean song. It was Big Sean, Jay Electronica, and Kendrick Lamar, right? Kendrick Lamar had the spotlight because he, you know, instead of sticking to the format that was created for the song, he went off and did the whole, you know, name dropping and attacking each rapper, saying, I want to be the best. Like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm the best rapper alive, whatever. So that was cool. It was a great moment. It was dope as fuck. And everybody should feel a certain way and feel threatened. I think with Big Sean, who I'm a Big Sean fan as well as a Kendrick Lamar fan, Big Sean, they completely overshadowed him and his opinion. Like, he don't get mentioned. When people talk about modern day greatest rappers, they always say the same three: Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole. I feel like Big Sean was in that conversation up until that moment. Up until that moment. Which I feel like is unfair to Big Sean because he can rap like that too. Also with a layer of ludicrous, you know, where it's making #1 tracks. You know what I mean? But with Big Sean, he released a song. I forgot what the song is called, but on the song, it was way later, so it could have flew under the radar. I interpreted it as he was talking about Kendrick, but he probably wasn't. He said, I swear these rappers, they be saying the greatest of all time, but when I spin the record back, I forgot the line, but he basically said it sounds like, well, he said when you spin the record back, it sounds like one big asthma attack, right? And when you think about it, it's like, what rap he's talking about? And I've always made fun of Kendrick's voice, where people go like, I'm like, look, he's dope as fuck, but you can't act like when he be like, walking and taking and thumbing and sending and you can't act like that's like dope. Like, no, that's weird. You know what I mean? That's weird rapping.
Yeah. That sounds funny. He'll get an asthma attack. Yeah. So
like
he hasn't won a battle. Okay.
So anyway, when Kendrick, you know, when he dropped the Heart Part 4, he was like, he said pretty much, he said, I swear, like, he pretty much said, say my name and you'll see Candyman. Like, just like, he said, I hear you. And like, I'll bring you that drama, but I'm gonna wait for you to say my name. And he said, and when I do respond, don't be saying like, this is the part where people's like, oh, he's talking about Big Sean. He said, don't be saying like, oh man, I'm just playing, big dog. I was just playing. He said, hey, you know, K-Dot, I'm just playing, man. I ain't mean that. It sounded like he's talking like he was like Big Sean.
He's like impression of Big Sean.
Yeah. And to be fair, and then when he dropped Be Humble, which he was talking about so many different things, but the hook goes, it was like be humble, hold up, sit there, hold up, little bitch, be humble, hold up, which that was Big Sean's calling sign back then, was little bitch. Like, he'll start records like little bitch, I wake up, you know what I mean? So they felt like that was subliminal. None of this is proven. We do not know this, but I'll say this though, and this happens in a lot of battles when people love debating who really won. You know, a lot of with like Jay-Z and Nas, they go like, no, Jay-Z really won because, you know, he made more records and he got Beyonce and he made more money. It's like when somebody admits they lost, or when the rapper, what I notice is that a good rapper in a battle, for some reason they predict the battle. And in Nas and Jay-Z battle, Nas said like the last thing he said on Ether, he said, you pop shit, then apologize, nigga, just ask Kiss. Because Jay-Z would go hard and on the low go like, you know, I don't mean that, bro. Like, we good, right?
That's funny.
You know
that's good.
And Kendrick in this song, he was like, yo, he said, I don't want to hear none of that. Nah, I'm just playing, big dog. You know, I ain't mean that, blah, 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 right? So in the presumptive beef that may or may not have happened, I would say recently in Big Sean, when he dropped his last album, he went on a tour and he was like, he made a song where he said like, I feel like those problems with me and Kendrick Lamar. And he said like, man, look, I just want to apologize, man. Like I just want to make sure we're good. He said, we cool now. He said, but he wasn't talking to me. And I just wanted him to be clear. Like, you know, we friends, we good, right? You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like Kendrick was like, I don't want to hear, I know your, you know, your track record, but that's the closest we've gotten to a real Kendrick Lamar beef. Now, presumptive beef, him and Drake got a lot of subliminals against each other. You know, and he, you know,
These subliminal beefs are funny, man.
Yeah.
It's like they're not doing it like they used to anymore.
I mean, but to be fair with Kendrick,
going back to Nas and the beef that he had with Jay-Z, I agreed with Nas when Nas pointed out that Jay-Z was really shitty on Renegade with Eminem. He even fucking says it in the song.
But that was
doesn't he say that? I know Nas said something like that. How you gonna invite the white boy on your fucking track and he fucking blows you away?
This is true.
Or it's the best track in the fucking album. What he says.
I know way too much about this topic. That was in response to,
and that's when I was like, Nas, fuck yeah, bro.
But that was in response to Jay-Z saying Uchiwali verse was better than yours. The verse, your Bodyguard's Uchiwali verse was better than yours. So this is the beauty about Ether. I'm telling you, I go on Nas all day. People don't listen to Ether correctly. When I start my YouTube thing, I'm gonna start a thing like that.
I'm gonna have to listen to it.
People don't listen to Ether correctly. They listen to it like it's some type of just vicious diss track. That's all. Vicious. But this is art, bro. Fucking art. And the reason why, there is no way you could be a Jay-Z fan and not listen to Ether religiously. The reason why, because it should be the final track on the Blueprint album. Only thing Nas is doing is taking Jay-Z and flipping it on him every other line. Except in the beginning, he describes the beef on how he responded to it initially. He just was like,
who's this?
Nas. He's like, oh, I just woke up and I heard like you was talking shit. And he said, what? Like, you sound like, nigga, you what? Like, come on, bro. Like, I'm your father, dog. And then he looked at him like, yo, you're my brother and I treat you like you like Judas to me. And he said, so he like, fuck it, let me get ready for war. That's the whole verse. Then even the hook, I burn across your soul like ether, will teach you the king, you know you not, guts out across the belly, lose, I'll prove you lost already. That's in response to Jay-Z's, one of his calling cards at the time was, I will not lose. He was saying on like hella records. And then so Nas' response to that was, I prove you lost already. Fucking genius, dog. Like, yo, like, why you saying I will not lose? You lost already. Damn. That's like if somebody hit you with like a good yo mama joke back. You like, damn, I didn't think of that. You know what I'm saying?
There was somebody who had a joke on the show last night. He was working at a place, and then there was like a cookie jar, and he was working there, and the customer walked in and stole the cookie in front of him. He opened the cookie jar, and the joke was he went in there and grabbed the cookie, and then him being the employee, he looked at the guy, he was like, excuse me? Yeah. And then the other guy replied back, excuse me, and left. And then he's like, how do you beat an excuse me with another excuse me?
Hey, man.
And I was just like, oh, that's a fucking genius move right there,
how
bro.
dare you, dog?
Yeah, so that's kind of like what Nas is doing. I was like, I already proved you
bro,
lost.
and I'm telling you, even like
that's great. It's almost like he built a time machine. It's almost like in the verse, he built a time machine to go back in time and be like, I already fucking did it.
Every other bar is like that. It's not just him going like there's a line where he said, oh, like he said he called him ugly. He said, oh, you getting girls now because of your looks? You know what I mean? Like, yo, he said, yeah, but literally that's in response to Song Cry, where Jay-Z said that they used to say I was ugly and wouldn't touch me. Then I showed up in a dugged out buggy. So what you think you're getting girls now because of your looks, Negro? Please, like, come on, like it's like a call and response. And every other line is like that. So to anybody who says takeover, which is like 3 of the 4 verses were about other people. Only 1 verse is about Nas versus Ether, where every line he's flipping every line that Jay-Z said on Blueprint against him. He said, you think you better than Biggie? Like, he said, how you Biggie going to be your man? He said, you better than Biggie. Then Jay-Z said in Blueprint, he goes, if I'm not better than Biggie, I'm the closest one. So when people say Ether ain't real, or it's like it's fake, or he's saying lies and diss tracks and your mama jokes and gangsta, I'm like, you're not listening to it, dog.
Yeah, you made me want to fucking listen to it again.
Ether, bro, I promise you, 90% of people who listen to Ether are listening to it wrong. They're just listening to it like, oh, I can't believe he said that. It's like, bro, I'm up here like, yo, how do you one up?
He's connecting dots and fucking going back in time and shit.
Bro, he literally even your name. From Sean Carter to Jay-Z, damn you on Jazz Dick. Talking about Jazz-O. That's when you started. He said Jay-Z said you been in the 10, I've been in the 5, smarten up now. Bro, you was in 88, you was getting chased to your building, calling my crib, and I didn't even give you my numbers. What are you saying? You know what I'm saying? In 88, I didn't even give you my numbers. And ask Jay-Z himself, was Jay-Z reaching out to Nas back then? Jay-Z was like, yeah, because he was on, I wasn't, and I was trying to get on a track with him. Jay-Z was trying to get on through Foxy Brown. Jay-Z was Foxy Brown's ghostwriter. Foxy Brown got in a group with Jay-Z. Got in the firm group with Nas. Jay-Z was writing for Foxy Brown like, yo, hit Nas, tell him I'm dope. I want to get him on this track.
Oh, no
Foxy
shit.
like, yo, he ain't respond. He not really talking to you like that.
Shit.
Bro. That's just like if you hit up Bill Burr and then Bill Burr don't respond back to you.
And then I get mad about it.
Yo, fuck Bill Burr. Bill Burr like, what?
Who are you?
Yeah.
That's funny,
Yo,
bro.
but anyway, see, I can do Nas all day.
All right.
Kendrick
Lamar shouldn't even be that high on the list.
I mean, unfortunately, I feel like I need like some solid hip hop albums from Kendrick. This last album was a therapy session. You know, you had The Pimp a Butterfly, which I think got named one of the greatest albums of all time. Great. Good dance music and all that stuff. Great. Even the Black Panther soundtrack, good dance music. Great.
I thought the one before that was better.
Damn was the hip hop album. As far as pop hip hop that we're gonna get epitome, I need like 2 more Damns, and Kendrick is like, I mean, I'll give him, I'll put him past a lot of people as far as, you know, greatest all time. Like I'll put him past Nas and even I'll put him up there with Jay-Z if he can give me 2 more Damns. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, has been very and he's allowed to go through what he wants to as an artist. But the albums are so conceptual.
Sure.
That, you know what I mean? It's like
they very are. Yeah, they're very artistic.
Yeah. So anyway, that's it.
All right. At the end, Jay-Z number 1 on this list.
Jay-Z.
Eminem's number 5. Jay-Z's number 1.
Yeah. So Jay-Z is, you know, like I said, he checks the most boxes. That's the only reason I give it to him. You know what I mean? Nas is my favorite rapper all time. You know, I think Nas is a better writer. Jay-Z, but the fact that he's even in that realm, you know what I mean? It means that he deserves it. I mean, the fact that he's even compared. And that's the problem with starting beefs is, you know, if you're gonna be a beef with somebody, make sure you squash them. I mean, Jay-Z started that beef, don't get me wrong, but I'm saying in the sense of like, you know, they're gonna forever pull each other up. I mean, they're friends too, by the way, now. But they're gonna forever pull each other up because they're always gonna be a comparison.
Sure.
If Jay-Z's like when Jay-Z dropped 444, there was like, oh, Jay-Z like finally rappers talking about some real stuff. It's like, yeah, you got it from Nas. Like, go ahead and drop your pop records, Jay-Z. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. With that being said, you know, one of the highest selling rappers of all time. His ability to convert. Jay-Z went on a run where he wasn't necessarily number 1, but he was number 2 for years. Where number 1 was DMX, or he wasn't. Even if he wasn't number 2, he was like number, like, you know what I'm saying? Like when Juvenile was hotter.
I know what you mean.
Like he was still in the top 5.
But the thing is, Jay-Z stays consistent and stays on the top for so long, and he's like, you know,
I think it's because
he's always staying relevant.
And I think he had a handle on the business side of it more than anybody.
Sure.
Like literally,
he just bought a sports team.
Yeah, but he just knew that, okay, this is what a record needs in order to sell it. You know what I mean? Like, I think he put that over the artistry. I even seen him in an interview where he said, because Kanye said, I think Kanye said something about music. He said he hates the business, right? He hates the business. And Jay-Z was like, they thought he was gonna like jump on Kanye's side, like, yeah, you hate business, right?
All right, bro. Listen, we got to wrap this up though. But I got to go take a piss, and while I take a piss, I want you to see if you can give people some good advice over this music.
I'm sorry. Good advice. Let's see. I can say anything. Good advice. Stop using the word woke. If you like it or hate it, that word should die. Woke should go to sleep. Woke needs a nap. You overused the word woke this week. Yeah, man, there's certain words. Oh, yeah, the word cap needs to die too. There's nothing wrong with lie. Lie is okay. It's okay to use slang. Doesn't need to be everything. Oh, and stop blaming cancel culture. Sometimes you're just a shitty person. Cancel culture exists, but it's not the reason why we don't want to hear you. Maybe you're just not clever enough. Maybe we don't like your voice. I think it's just your voice. I think it's the way you say it. I think we like when other people say it, just not you. Yeah, we like other people's voice better than yours.
You had me laughing back there, bro. That's like really true. It's like, stop using cancel culture for a reason why you suck. You just suck.
You haven't figured it out yet, and that's okay.
Yeah, I love this music because it does get you to be like, hey, I know what I can say. I have so much wisdom to give you.
On the last podcast I did,
Trim your beard every day. If you don't, you'll look homeless. It makes you sound smarter, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I invented the cell phone.
There was a lot of pressure, but then after I said the first thing, I was like, okay, I can do this.
Yeah, the music helps. It really does, man.
Oh, man.
I love these sound effects, bro. Do you remember this? I always play this because I remember when I found this the other day. I'm sure you remember hearing this.
Sunday.
Oh, yeah. Monster truck.
Yeah, right?
Watch the Dodge Neon get crushed by a big wheel.
Yeah. But you know what, though? This is the thing that kills me. I had to cut out the word that really what he says at the end of it.
Oh, R?
No. Oh, you wish. You wish it was the N word. Is that what you mean?
I said R word.
Oh, no. Ready? So there is Sunday. But this is what it was.
He's like, you cuck.
Sunday. Be here or be queer.
I was not expecting that.
I love that, bro. When I heard that, I'm like, yo, that is so 90s. How else are you going to get these white, fat Republicans to go see monster trucks when they're fucking to threaten them with being gay?
Well, I'm not queer. I'm going to show up.
Sunday. Be here or be queer.
That's awesome.
Get off me, Tom.
Get off me, Tom.
Get off me, Tom. We gotta go to the monster truck rally. Yo,
That's hilarious.
get off me, Tom. You get on top of the truck, I'll be at the bottom. We ain't queer.
We ain't queer.
You ride in the back. I'll ride in the front.
All right.
Yeah, I'll wrap it up.
Anybody, let's plug your shit, bro. This podcast was too fucking long, man. But I mean, the thing is that when you start talking hip hop, bro, I'm like,
well, that's what I said.
I just can't stop listening because I'm learning so fucking much, man. And then not only that, it inspires me to go back to listen to some of these other people that I haven't listened to in a real long time. And, you know,
listen to
this
Ether.
is almost 3 hours, bro.
Listen to Ether with your new knowledge. That'll be.
I'm going to. And listen to Snow the Product.
I'll check
and
out
let
Snow.
me know about she is.
I'll check out Snow.
Bro.
Yeah.
Okay. Plugs.
Jeremy Comedy, Instagram will probably be the best. Also JeremyScippio.com if we use those anymore. App coming soon.
Yeah, go to JeremyScippio.com. Don't stop plugging Instagram.
Yeah.
I always tell people don't plug Instagram or Facebook. Plug your website and say that they can find all your social media links right there. You
Absolutely. When I update it.
JeremyScippio.com.
Yeah. What else? I want to do oh, you know what? I got Memphis coming up, and I also have San Diego mic drop, which you got coming up too.
I'm coming up at the mic drop again.
Oh, you did. Oh, you did it already.
I already did it.
Oh, I didn't know you did it already.
I sold it out.
Hey, he sold it out.
Thank you everyone for coming.
Hey, don't make me look like a chump, guys. Come to mic drop March 24th and 25th.
Are you doing?
Sold it out.
Are you headlining?
Yeah, I'm headlining.
You
baby.
sold it out?
No, I'm saying don't make me look stupid.
Are you headlining the weekend?
Yeah, I'm headlining weekend.
Damn, you're so lucky, bro.
Yeah.
I haven't got the weekend there
You
yet.
haven't got the weekend?
But I did. But
Come on, guys. Yo, if you like Mike, I'm better. No,
Yeah.
what if I did? Oh shit! Yo, you got so serious. He's kicking me out. Hey, welcome to the last time I'm gonna be on this podcast, guys.
what else? You want to plug, you piece of shit? Somebody who's better than me, apparently. You may look better than me, but fuck you. I got a big ass dick. The yum dick.
Yo, yeah, man. That's pretty much it, man. Yo, just check me out. The Door Guys EP just dropped last month. Check that out on Spotify. I think that's the best place, or iTunes.
Spotify or iTunes, yeah. That's called The Door Guys, which is basically a compilation of the stand-up comedians that are actually the door people at the Comedy Store.
Yeah, track 2. That's the best one. But no, just support, guys. Support.
Yeah. And as for me, more dates are coming up. I'm looking to book everywhere. Anybody who's listening to this, join my mailing list. Go to MikeFromDetroit.com. My pop-up will come up. Join the list so that way I can alert you when I'm coming. All my show dates are over there. Next shows that I got coming are going to be Baltimore. I'm coming to Baltimore March 2nd and 4th, and then the day after the 4th, on the 5th, I'm driving up to Washington, D.C., and I'm doing Room 808. I also am headlining Detroit House of Comedy in the summer in June. And what else am I doing? There's the dates are up there. Follow me, MikeFromDetroit.com. All my social media links are up there.
I just didn't want you to end. Shout out Heather.
Shout out to Heather,
House Comedy.
House
She
of
loves
Comedy.
you, bro.
I love
her.
her.
Loves you.
I love her.
Yeah.
She was on the podcast, so definitely listen to Heather's podcast if you're on here.
Absolutely.
She's very deep.
Yeah.
She's very deep. She's like
Absolutely.
almost like a shaman.
Yes,
You know what
yeah.
I mean? But yeah, so thank you guys. Thank you for listening. This thing was really, really long, but this was more indulgent. I just really wanted to just wax poetic about hip hop. And thank you, Jeremy.
Absolutely. Thank you, man.
All right, guys. Peace out. I love you. Till next time.
Public Yemeni #1.